Hello and welcome. It is Trucking Answers. It's 12:30 p.m.-ish Eastern Time here in Lafayette, Indiana, where it is a chilly 32 degrees. All right, exactly freezing. And we are back. So this week there's been a bunch of clearinghouse violations in just 10 months. What do you think about that? Yeah, how about putting down the drugs? No, don't put a wreath on that grill. Holy mackerel, everybody's giving money out. It's like Oprah's running every company. And Rand McNally's still having some problems, apparently, with some ELDs. Yikes. Yikes-a-rooney. That isn't any good. All right, so we are here, and let's see what you have to say about that and everything else that's going on. Misty was first today. Trucker Hershey was first the other day. He did get in first. George Wilson, hello. What's happening today? Christina, what's going on? It's good to see you. Steve Samar. Just had a roller wiener at the pilot. That gets everybody going. A good wiener in your face in the morning. Gets you started for the day. Kelly, what's happening today? George Wilson is here, as I say, and I go down the list. And where am I? Oh, hello, GP Transco's in early today. What's going on up there? No snow there yet. Bangor, Maine, Trucker Hershey, yikes. 12 to 24 inches of snow for Wednesday. Better get a load out of there. Pick up some IT books or whatever and get the heck going. Or out of the way far northeast, I'd always go over to get Ben and Jerry's. So I don't know what you'll get out of there. Probably not Ben and Jerry's, but that's usually what I would get out of up there, and that would get me the heck out of there. Gustavo, hello. What's happening? Ran Bubs. Hello, that's an interesting name. So Chris 7601, yeah, upper and lowercase numbers are the same. Nice. Andy's World, hello from pleasantly cold and dry Ohio. Nice. Yeah, it's not bad here. Just a little chilly. Big Berry Blueberry Man, good afternoon. Hello there. Dashcam Sam, what are roller wieners made of? You don't want to know. Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. DIY Semi, hello there. What's happening? Chef Matt is here today to cook up some good comments. Good morning from a cold winter wonderland in eastern Washington state, I assume. It got a little chilly over the weekend, 28, 27, but not terrible. Coffee and Wheels from Indiana. Hello, fellow Hoosier. Cassius King Trucking is here. Hey now, Cassius King Trucking is live most of the time. So if I can get that over here. So there we go, Cassius King Trucking live. He sent a picture to me that I have ready. I didn't ask him if I can use it, so I will now. So can I put that picture up here that you sent? And if you say yes, then we'll put that picture up here. So I don't want to just post pictures that you send. So Covenant, a 66-cent raise. I doubt that. Maybe a raise to 66 cents maybe is the way to do it. Right. Controversial. Hey, what's happening? Luke, 1, 2, 3, 4, stop. People stop putting your phones in the instrument cluster. Who does that? Never cover up your instruments. Get a phone holder. I mean, what are they, $2 now? Of course, they all just sank in the ocean with all those ocean containers. They're probably floating around out there. Hey, Josh Transport, good morning. Nice. Transporting stuff around, I hope. Charles Abney, retracted, sorry. I retract that. DIY Semi, what's up, Cassius King? Get rid of trucks that push traffic and tailgate. Why do people do that? Okay, I hope that's not anybody watching here. Do not tailgate. It's unsafe. It's dangerous, and it gives us all a bad name. Okay, back off a little bit. Gee whiz. What is he going to save, a tenth of a second? Come on. Good afternoon, Charles Abney. There we go. We abdicated the first one. George Costanza. Hey, got accepted at GP Transco. That's great. Waiting on official word from Melton. Oh, well, I would go to GP Transco, honestly. I still need to find a Melton driver to give him a referral bonus if I go to Melton. Are there any Melton drivers? We got accepted at GP Transco and Melton, apparently. Where are you going to go? Out of those two, I'd certainly take GP Transco over Melton. Certainly. Never obey. What's happening? Right. Never obey. Coffee and Wheels. Chunky Monkey. That's pretty good, right? I like New York Super Chunk. That's the best Ben & Jerry's, I think. Roger Penske. Another perfect day in the Southwest Desert. Korean Mafia says, how you doing? The Korean Mafia. Right. I love it. Taylor Smith. Oh, I thought it said Taylor Swift. Holy mackerel. Holy moly. Good afternoon, everyone. George Costanza, Moose Tracks. I never had Moose Tracks. Get them when they're on sale. Meyer. Stephen Reeves, CRSD went from negative 6 cents to a half-eaten bag of Doritos. Big things happening. Cedar Rapids, things are changing everywhere. You know, they're one of the ones that I haven't seen announce a raise. Western Express has not announced a raise. They probably are going to, but there's been a few that haven't come out and announced it. Stephen Damastis, hello. We'll say that. Paul Vines, greetings from Southern Rockenshaw, wherever the heck that is. Bobby Irvin, I did some research on Grace and discovered she has a Super 10 transmission. That would explain why she's so slow. She's sleeping back on the couch. They're observing, supervising, as cats do, all these kind of things. So that's pretty good. Let's see, where did I go off of here? Bluebell Homemade Vanilla Rocks. Oh, see, that's not a Ben & Jerry's flavor. Charles Lauderby. Hello, Mark. Picking up in Georgia and heading to Indiana. Oh, where's that go? What are you getting, and where's it going here in Indiana? Are you coming up this way? Lafayette, there's a big, down on 350, there's a big warehouse. I see trucks in and out of there all the time. So I know stuff comes in here. Taylor Swift should do a live show in a Swift trailer. You know, I wonder if they've ever tried to get her to endorse the company or anything like that. I doubt she would do it, but hey, who knows? It's Mr. Plow. What's going on? If you're plowing, you haven't had a lot of work this year, like none so far. Kelly Patterson. Covenant Transport could give a 60-cent raise. It still would not work for him. Yeah, that's the thing. All these companies are giving these big raises out, but is that really the problem? It really isn't the problem at the company. They always think, oh, we'll just throw a few bucks at these people and still treat them poorly. We'll treat all these end users like garbage still. That's not the problem. If they would just raise their treatment, they wouldn't have to raise their pay. You know, I'd stay for less pay as long as I'm treated well, really. I mean, and then if you're not treated well, it doesn't matter what they pay. You still leave because it isn't worth it. It isn't worth it. Now, it's nice to get good pay, and at some point, you do still leave even if you're being treated well. Like, say you were treated like a king. They literally roll a red carpet out for you when you come in and stuff, but they only pay 25 cents. Okay? That's just not worth it. You're losing too much money. You know, eventually you leave, but gee whiz. If they'll just give decent pay and treat people well, that's all they would have to do. That's it. That's all people want. Like I said yesterday, if they say you're going to be home at noon Friday, you should be home at noon Friday, period. It should be the end of it. Coffee and Wheels. That would be hilarious to watch her do that with Swift. Oh, that would be great, wouldn't it? I wonder what it would cost to get her to do that. I can't imagine. Roll stock to New Carlisle. All right, Paul Vines. Covenant shut down an SRT terminal at Texarkana and moved it to Chattanooga. Oh, really? Well, that is their headquarters, right? I guess they'll just say, look, you can just commute. People that were in Texarkana. It's just a short commute over there. Kenneth talked to GP Transco in Newberry on Friday. Good talk. That company got it going on. That's good. See, and that's I think that's the best advertising a company can have. Is just you just go meet a random driver out on the street and ask them about it. That's the best way to find out about any company. Just go pick any random driver and say, hey, what do you think of the place? If they'll give you a good deal on it, I mean, that's certainly the way to do it. I was wondering what happened to the SRT terminal in Texarkana. Well, it just moved slightly. You can still commute, though. Chef Matt, if drivers were paid for all their time, that might be all the race and fixing the industry needs. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But you still have to be treated well, too. Even if you're paid, say you were paid hourly for all your time. And Cassius King Trucking had a live show today about getting paid for all your time, and I have a story about that. But what if you're paid for all your time but still treated poorly? They didn't get you home on time. They wouldn't fix your truck and stuff like that. I still don't think you'd stay. It's just not worth staying. Would you rather get less pay and better treatment? Company will get you home on the weekend. Yeah, but which weekend? George Costanza. Right. Once you put a time in, and it's usually, a week or 2 weeks in advance or whatever, and they accept it, they should get you home no matter what that takes. Even if they have to bobtail you across the country just to get you home. They wouldn't have to do it much, but a couple of times of doing that, oh my gosh. GP Transco says, we didn't do a major raise since we've been paying well for years and have been doing everything to treat drivers well. We added a performance review with a 1 cent pay raise each review. Right, companies that were already on the top of the pay scale and treating drivers well didn't have to do these big pay raises. Who's the one doing the raises? All these big ATA companies that we see advertising everywhere. Sierra England comes out, and Covenant, and all these places come out with these big pay raises. The ones that were at the bottom of the list, they can't go any further down. They're like, we can't get any lower. Let's go up a little bit. So then they move up slightly in the pay. Fleet Nav Systems is here. Hello, everybody. Hello, Fleet Nav Systems. Nikita, I'm in the process of getting hired by NFI. Just got my CDL. Oh, I didn't know they hired students at NFI. All right. So they do training there. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I did see that ad. That's right. Mark, with all the new pay raise announcements, do you think there will be a cap on what most fleets pay? Most fleets do have a cap. That's why I was asking GP Transco last week, is there a cap on that 1 cent raise? Most places do cap you out, although I don't really think they should. But, say you went up the list. By the time you get to the top of the pay raise at most places, they've raised their pay. You stay there 20 years, 30 years, you're still not going to be at 37 cents or whatever they were paying for a 30-year driver, all those years ago. So, I think the pay is only going up. I don't mind making a little less to work where I'm at, treated good, and home every night. Paul Vines. Exactly. So you take a little less pay because they treat you right. The companies don't realize that if they would do that part of it, they wouldn't have had to raise anybody's pay, really. If they would just treat people better, the pay could have just stayed where it was. Was Sierra England good at one point? Oh, yeah. Luke, when I started driving back in the heyday of trucking, the heyday of driving, people loved Sierra England. They were cruising coast to coast in cab overs, and people loved the place. You couldn't wait to get over there. People were talking good about it constantly. So, yes. I get treated terrible at home and pay for it. Living the dream. Nice. Terrible at home. Nice. Greetings, drivers from Portland, Oregon. Columbia, George. Exclamation point. My load for today got canceled. I'm waiting for a new dispatch. Hopefully the load didn't get canceled, that it got canceled. Well, I hope you get something else going somewhere. Anyways, the Northeast is going to get hit this week with snow. Anyone out there should get ready. Don't do the Trader Joe's account at NFI, Uncle D's. I think there's one around here that does bread, if I remember the ads now that I think about it. Somewhere in Lebanon, or down there, Lebanon, Indiana, which is north of Indianapolis. They have some kind of bread account, if I remember reading the ad. Come and deliver bread, and you just roll it out on racks or whatever. So I don't know what Trader Joe's account might be. Cash King Trucking just got checked in at Lineage Logistics in Avon, Massachusetts. Hey, you sent me that picture. I have it here. Can I show it? I didn't ask you, and I don't want to just show a picture that somebody sends me without asking. But I do have it available. 'Tis the season. The bombs near the Amazon facilities are getting out of hand. I can't imagine how many there are. Do they not let you in at Amazon? I've never been over there. I see it. It's right off the highway on I-65 by the TA there. But the Loves, really. Oh, my gosh. I can't imagine it. Every Columbia, Cascadia, every old Century class going in there. There must be just a line of bumpers and parts that fall off the trucks. Cash King said it's 38 and cloudy in Boston for now. Get the heck out of there. GP Transco does not have a cap right now. We'll see how it is in a few years, but for now, no cap. Though we're looking at all driver pay, our drivers make 60 cents an average, working on increasing. Yeah, see, and by the time a driver that starts now gets up to the cap, the top end may be even higher than that. So there'd be like a theoretical cap at companies, but I think as you move up, it wouldn't be any problem. Tell us more about hauling hay. Cash King Trucking. That's one of the few things I haven't hauled is hay. It seems like that'd be an easy load. A few straps, it should be easy to do. Wobon 79. Good afternoon, Trucking Answers fans. And Mark, and no smoking with a hay load. We don't want all that ash going out there. 2 Wookiees and a pancake. Oh, no, my gosh. That is a great name. That'd be a good podcast name, too. Oh, my gosh. Although Wookiees, I wonder if Disney would say something about that. When did it become the thing to use your bright lights to clear a driver? Oh, that's been for years. And now the lights are LED and all these light bars that they blink and stuff. Back in the day, we just clicked them off. Why do drivers like to drag race now? Dangerous, I think. I agree with that. Do not bright light me. Okay? Don't. Text-to-speech is not quite ready for prime time. Not yet. And can you imagine a truck trying to drive itself around? It can't even figure out the words you're saying. Doesn't understand the words coming out of my mouth. Cassius King, you could show that picture. Just warn people they're eating. Oh, for those of you that might be eating, Cassius King Trucking took this picture, and this was at the in Gary, Indiana, the other day. It was 37 degrees and raining out, and this is some footwear that another person was wearing. So we'll get that in there. Amazing. You notice his foot overhangs so far that it should have a red flag coming from it, and he should have gotten a permit to wear those because of the over-length load there. Nice. 37 and rain in Gary. That's pretty awesome. Thank you for that picture. Oh, my gosh. I saw that. I thought, oh, my gosh, that's incredible. Then I didn't get a chance to ask you about it. No late fee, only 15 minutes late. Good. Dash cam Sam, I remember getting a 10 mile an hour raise in the 90s. That was sweet. Look, a few miles an hour is a raise too. But anymore with the fuel prices and that, companies just can't do it. It just kills the fuel mileage. We do not transport hay at GP Transco. It does the number on a dry van trailer. I can imagine that was a mess. Whenever I'd get a load of that, every once in a while I'd get a load of paper, like strips of paper. They just fill the truck up, I guess, by dumping it in there. Oh, that's a disaster. Potatoes in a reefer, that's a total disaster. If anybody's hauled that, they haul it in there with a conveyor belt. And as you're driving, the potatoes just bounce on each other, and they're all stuck in the grooves. You'd have to go in every groove and depotato as your trailer. It took forever. Columbia, Georgia, your dispatcher can get you a Georgia Pacific load. That'd be good. Just love those Georgia Pacific loads. Oh, you'd be there with all the Western Express trucks. Robert Daniel, hey, buddy, what's going on? Andy's World. Once you hit the mid to high 60s, you have to wonder when they'll stop. Well, they won't stop until they don't need any more drivers. Kevin is here dropping in for a few. Hello there. Yeah, Chef Matt, dollars per mile makes more sense than cents per mile. Well, yeah, it does. When I see $1 a mile, that's going to be something. I've seen close to 70s to 80 cents in Indianapolis. I don't think I'll see $1 for quite a while. I think they want me at Trader Joe's. Can you say why not to do that? I'm curious. Yeah, I'm curious too. Why not Trader Joe's on NFI? Is it all just heavy Trader Joe's salsa and all that? Because we don't have one here. I guess that's what I don't know about that. William Huglet, do they allow Amazon trucks bathroom breaks? I understand the warehouse workers do. Do they allow anybody in an Amazon warehouse? Self-driving vehicles also can't handle the snow and ice and cold temps. That's why Too Simple is hiring drivers in Tucson for their automated truck fleet. In case anybody wants to move to Tucson, help working on automated trucks, they need drivers down there. 2 Wookiees and a pancake. I saw a driver washing his feet in the bathroom sink at the TA in Coburg, Oregon. Made me nauseated. That's wonderful. Wonder if it was this guy. Why are we doing that? We got our first snow on Sunday. Fortunately, all melted by Sunday night, Columbia, Georgia. Yeah, we had a snow the other day, but it didn't really stick around. Try cleaning Christmas tree pine needles from your trunk. Oh, that'd be a mess too, right? What's a good company for starters? Oh, let's see what people think about that. What do you get Wookiee for Christmas if he already owns a comb? Oh, here it goes. Right. My apologies to Disney. We can't get $5 billion to build a wall. How are they going to get $5 trillion to redo the interstate system to allow for trucks? It will never happen. Oh, it'll happen. It is going to happen. It's going to be decades before there's a lot of them, but it is definitely coming, especially on the interstate system. It will come. Automated trucks will become viable when cars fly. There is a flying car. I just read a story about it this weekend. In Europe, there's a flying car that you could purchase. There's a few on the market, but you can get it now. It's very expensive. Picked up a load of trees a couple years ago. All had the root in burlap. My reefer was solid mud. That sounds like a disgusting disaster too. A friend of mine years ago, and I don't know if they did this, he picked up a load of trees in a reefer and they iced it. No, maybe he had a van. That's why they did it. He picked them up in the Northwest and iced it. And it all melted out as he went. They were going somewhere south, somewhere warmer, and they threw a bunch of ice on it. Crazy. His trailer was a disaster. Light snow in Mahwah, New Jersey. Heading to Allentown. Get the heck out of there. It's Mr. Plow. Well, I appreciate that. Tipping the host. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Chef Matt, the 60s left us broke and drug-infested as a nation as the opium field workers. That will be this coming up now because 46,000 drivers in 10 months are violated on the Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse. Only 4,400 of them have done the retraining and the return to duty, which I said duty, the return to duty things that they need to do to get their job, to come back and work. I think the part of that is that as soon as you violate, you're fired. I would be fired. They wouldn't give me the opportunity here to return to work, and that's almost everybody, I bet, at a company driver. You're not going to get an opportunity to come back to work. There's not like, oh, well, you can go through rehab. No, they're like, you're fired. Mark, I'm working for one of the companies you advertise. Oh, okay. Just started with them 3 weeks ago. It's been a little rough out here. Oh, what seems to be the problem? Good looking might want a lint brush for Christmas. Oh, they might. If you watch that, I forget what movie that's from. Some little thing that went on in the 70s or whatever. Amazon just had a small cage inside for drivers. A small cage? And maybe a porta potty outside if you're lucky. Well, at least you got something. Uncle D's production. I'm sure that porta potty's clean between each use. The DC just throws the pallets on the trailer without straps. When it falls over, you have to fix it. It's also called liftgate deliveries. All right, so you get a liftgate there? Are we talking about NFI and the Uncle, here we go with this, Trader Joe's? All kinds of snow over Highway 58 and 97. I found that out last night. That's not great. Trucker Hershey turned off. I'm back picking up in northern Maine at the Canada border. Hope I see a moose. Yeah, where's that logo? What's up there? There's nothing there. What are you picking up, like a load of poutine or something for the imported poutine? Like the old timers used to say about separate roads for trucks, there's already one, a railroad. Oh, nice. Yeah. Except people can't get that stuff delivered to their house. Or the 7-Eleven can't get Slurpee material from the railroad. So that's always the problem with the railroads. Oh, Cash is King Trucking. Thank you very much. Great work at the channel, Mark. Well, I appreciate that. We have to educate new drivers before the mega carriers brainwash them. That's true. Or you end up with this. And nobody wants that. Believe me. Yikes. It's the greatest picture ever. YouTube had an outage this morning, Christina. I know I've been having problems with it for a couple days, and I was wondering if it was going to work today. Google overall had an outage. Gmail, all that. There were outages all the way across. Yes. I figured if anybody, Google's going to be on top of trying to get that fixed. FXI is a good starter company for tankers. Oh, FXI. I've never heard of that place. It sounds like you also don't need a hazmat there, so that'd be really good. Trucker Hershey. Oh, there's a paper mill. Oh, wonderful. Are you going to get rolls of paper? Those are the best. When they put gigantic rolls, and then they put, I'm sure you picked this up, a little bitty wedge, like you hold your door open with. They just stab a wedge under it. Oh, there you go. You're all set in a van. Oh, yeah, that'll be great. Got to run now. Get ready to roll 73s. 2 Wookiees and a pancake. All right, that's pretty good. Christina Jones. Hey there, Fleet Nav. Yeah, exactly. So where do the rest of these drivers go off to? If you fail a drug test, 42,000 something of them, 41,000 some, they didn't do the return to duty, so they're just out of the industry, I guess. They're gone. Most of them, over half of them, was for the marijuanas. And then that was split. The rest of it was split between everything else. A lot of meth in there. Nice. And some coke. Right. Old school. Those are old school drivers still doing the coke like they're a rock star. The weather waiting around, Mark, because of lots of snow. Pickup at customers have about a foot of snow on drop yards. Yikes. Well, that's the company can't do anything about that, I guess. But a foot of snow. I wouldn't be running around in there, get stuck. Kelly Patterson, I'm willing to bet a lot of drug violations were marijuana. Yep, from illegal state. Oh, maybe, right. Thinking it was okay. Yeah, some of them could be that. Remember, folks, you can't do it no matter if it's legal in the state. Okay, you can't. Do not do it. Don't do the CBD oil thing either. Don't do any of that stuff. It's not worth it. Like the videos, guys, so we can get more truckers in. Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Paper, potatoes, broccoli, and whoopie pies. Whoopie pies. Nice. I didn't know she made pies. Stepping away to interview a safety manager. We'll be back. GP Transco. All right, thanks for coming in. Give them the real interview, too. I guess I was talking about NFI and Trader Joe's. Okay, so Liftgate. So it's going to be work. So it needs to pay. It needs to pay good. That's going to be work. Liftgate's work. Paul Harris, Ecklard Eklund Logistics from Neenah, Wisconsin is hiring but no medical offered at 61 cents. If you want to join the healthcare savings, they deduct 4 cents. All right, depending if you need medical then, 61 cents, not bad. Not bad. You might be able to go buy your own basic policy. What about the CBS products on truck stop? Probably CBD products. No way would I touch it at all. You don't know what's in it, and if you go positive, you get a positive test, you're done. You can't say, well, I bought this and it was legal or whatever. No. You're finished. You're just finished. And really, nobody's going to hire you with a positive drug test. They're just not going to. Okay, so FXI requires no hazmat. That'll save you from having to go get a hazmat. Food, a lot of it, the food grade stuff is better. The liquid syrup and stuff is thick, so it doesn't slosh around as much. Although I guess you can get thinner stuff in there. George Wilson, why not truck driver retirement place Social Security? The railroad has a railroad retirement. Superior to Social Security. Because the railroad, isn't that all union though? How would a truck driver retirement work? Who would administer that kind of policy? Can't wait for my Cooper all-terrain tires in the snow. All right. I have these winter tires. It hasn't snowed, but I'm still happy. My dealer said it was legal. Hey, don't worry. This stuff's fine. The guy, is that the same guy that tries to sell me watches when I go to Chicago out of a suitcase? Doughboy 129. Hey, what's happening? I didn't know she made pies. Fleet Nav, I had no idea. I didn't. Mark, you have to serve something with that Romulan ale. Oh, yeah, the whoopie pies. She at 10 forward. I'll take a 1 Romulan ale and 1 whoopie pie. Cocaine was only good in the 80s. That's what I'm saying. So, but some drivers were busted for that, like 10 or 10, something like that % of them. I'm like, wow, these are like the old school drivers. Still doing the coke. Nice. Martin Shelley, what is your car channel? So I could subscribe to it. There is a car channel. It's under my name, Mark Rumps. All right, it is not Doug DeMuro. I'll tell you that. It's been up for 5 or 6 years. Anybody interested in cars can go over there. I walk around a car most weeks, talk about it, give my opinion about it. That's about it. I don't drive them or anything because they don't let me in because it's Sunday. Usually when I'm doing it, so I couldn't get in them. So it's nothing. It's not like some kind of great shakes, believe me. And after like 6 years, there's only maybe 600 people subscribed to it. I just do it because I like it. I like doing it. So, Chef Matt, drugs, regardless of legality, turn people into seek and destroy missiles and heat-seeking missiles. They just ruin the morons buying them. Look, I don't recommend you doing drugs. I'm with Nancy Reagan on this, right? Don't do drugs. Not good. Of any kind. Hunter Brown, good morning. The sun is up and the snow's bright. Get the sunglasses and don't put those wreaths in front of the truck too. They were talking about that now. People putting these gigantic wreaths in their grill of their truck. Do not do that. Apparently engineers make that grill the correct size to get air into the intercoolers and turbo coolers and superchargers and everything, and it cools everything off. And so if it doesn't get the right airflow and stuff, you could set an engine light off, that kind of thing. Don't put a wreath around the grill of your truck. And the other thing, which I thought about, don't turn on lights on your truck that could get you pulled over. Remember this. In Indiana and in a lot of states, you can only have white or yellow lights facing forward and red or yellow lights facing backwards. Any other light color could get you stopped. So I see drivers every once in a while with lights that are blinking or different colors or whatever. You're not allowed to do that. So that kind of thing can get you stopped, and that's not great. So if you're in the road, turn those off. Air Gunner Bob, heading to the clinic right now for a random. Great. I hope they pay you for it. Number one, I hope they pay you for it. And that last one I did over here, the clinic was packed full of people. I thought, where's all the COVID things here, considering this a medical clinic? So, wonderful. Does anyone know how they pay for Amazon truck drivers? I don't know. I've never seen the pay for the company drivers. I assume the owner-operators get like 60 cents, considering the condition of their trucks. I mean, horrible. The whole roller wiener rolling along, that's the way to keep them rolling. Misty, I tried CBDs to help me sleep, but once I found out people were testing positive, I self-tested it and watered for the positive, so I stopped using it. Took 2 weeks for your system to clear. Did you get a positive on your self-test? And if so, that's pretty scary, right? That's pretty scary. You got to go over to GNC and buy their special behind-the-counter stuff when you talk to the dude up at the counter. Dude, like, I need this special stuff. Martin Shelley, I'm a big car fan, car buff, and nerd. All right, well, you may enjoy it. So head on over there. Video was posted yesterday. So 718 Cayman video went up yesterday, I think. Misty, thank God I self-tested before I got company tested. Right. And I would write that company too and say, hey, I self-tested and got a positive. What's going on here? CBD products are what's called Delta 8 THC. I think that's in the Romulan sector. And Steele's Ping says marijuana. Really? We're headed to the Delta 8 THC. That is way beyond my pay grade. How do you spell your last name so I can find the car channel? RUMPS. Believe me, if people go look at it today, there'll be more people that look at it mostly in a month. So it is nothing. It's not like a Doug DeMuro channel. Believe me, it's like 2% of that. It's just me. I just go look at cars every week when I'm out getting the papers anyway on Sundays. And I go find a car that I like to look at. This week I was looking for a Lincoln. I couldn't find it. I did eventually find that Lincoln because I was going to go test drive it this week. And I thought, oh, no, I can't find it. But I did find it. So that'll be up probably next week. Do you cover lease purchase plans from companies at all? Sorry, new to the channel. King Trucker? No. What I do is say don't do a lease purchase. Okay, I'm just against them. Every once in a while somebody will write into me that has a decent lease purchase. But look, just go get a truck on your own, honestly. Go, even if you're going to lease it away from a company. Don't lease the truck from the people that are going to write your paycheck because you want to control that asset. Go to a dealer, go lease it, or really the best thing would be buy your own truck. And then you can lease it to a company that's going to pay you a decent percentage. Then you can make money. And if for some reason you don't like it or it can't, the company closes like Falcon and stuff, you still own your truck and you just drive away with it and go somewhere else. And if you can't do it, then it's not time for you to get into trucking. Save some money, go get a truck on your own, and believe me, you'll have a much better time than these people paying $1,300 a week at some places for a truck. A week. The railroads were so critical to the U.S. economy that there's a whole set of U.S. statutes for them in the airlines. Right. That all started, like many years ago, right? Like way 20s, something like that. I drink caffeine every morning. I guess I'm a drug addict. I never got into coffee. I really don't like it. So I like coffee in all the ways that it's not coffee. Like if you have a coffee flavored something, I'm like, oh, this is delicious. But when coffee is actually coffee, it's pretty horrible, I think. The Railroad Labor Act, which codifies the law of labor relations affecting railroads, can be found at these things, and I'll leave that out there for people to look at. Came into being response in a series of violent railroad strikes during the late 19th and 20th centuries. This is quite some time ago. I have multiple channels myself. It's more of a juggling act than anything else, especially having 7. Chef Matt, I don't know how you do 7 channels. If you're, doing any of them seriously. Teamsters as retirement truck drivers. However, truck drivers will never join together. Yeah, the Teamsters has some kind of retirement, but you still get Social Security with that, right? I think. As for truckers, we drive by night like Humphrey Bogart. Nice. Or I was thinking Barry Manilow, Ships, right? Remember that song? Should I sing it? Probably not. Robin Johnson, I saw a bullhauler the other night. Every light in his tractor was purple except for his headlights. I don't know how he gets away with it. See, that's the thing. Once you have something that's not allowed, you could get stopped. That's why I'm saying with these Christmas lights and stuff, when you're parked at the truck stop, that's one thing. But driving down the road, now an officer may not stop you. He may think that's festive. He goes, that's the most festive thing I've ever seen. That's wonderful. But then the next guy may be like, you know what? Let's pull this guy around. And you could get written up for that at an inspection. That's CSA points or whatever for improper lighting. So you just don't want the problem of it driving down. And the covering the grill is just a thing that I've seen pointed out there. You're blocking the airflow off to the truck. So don't cover your grill up. Cassius King just subscribed to the car channel. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, you're one of only a few. So that's good. With trucking, as they said during the Depression, you don't like it, there's 1,000 guys that want your job. Ask any ATA carrier. Well, that's the thing. But then that person boots out too. That's true. That's with any job, though. If you don't like it, leave because you're not going to be any good at it. Do something you like. You only got one chance in life, right? Go do something you like. Don't spend your life doing something you hate doing. Holy mackerel, that sounds horrible. $15 an hour day cab drivers. Oh, no way. Where are they paying $15? Really? That's in Charlotte? Oh, we need to get Cash is King Trucking onto Charlotte here. $15 an hour. Does Amazon pay overtime at least for truck drivers? Why would you tempt fate by driving another Ford with an EcoBoost? Well, look, the Lincoln, the MKZ that I looked at does not have the same EcoBoost that this one has. That Lincoln MKZ is a 3-liter twin turbo, and Motor Trend called that the sleeper car of the year. That's under 5 seconds to 60. It's 400 horsepower all-wheel drive, so it's a reserve, so it's got all the cooled seats and everything. I wanted to look at it. They're a little high on the price there. It is red. Most of the MKZs are black, which I don't want another black car. So, but I thought about that too, because I have I have an XJL, a Jaguar, that I'm probably going to look at Saturday. I have a safety committee meeting, and then I'll probably go look at that. That's in Kokomo, though, so that's a ways away. We'll see. Like the Lincoln Continental from 3 weeks ago, had one in dark blue. Oh, you love that? Really? Yeah, that car is in great shape for being so old. Yeah, that would be a great car. Smaller companies do treat their drivers better. Ozark Dispatch and load cancellations were just as bad as Swift's. I left them for TSI, and I made double in 1 week. Yeah, the money may be one thing. The treatment, maybe not. There are larger companies that treat you okay. I think I'm at a big place, but I think they treat me okay because I never see them. So, I never have to talk to anybody. So that's part of it. It just depends what you do. I think it's a thing with the company. There are a lot of large companies that treat drivers fine, where drivers never complain. It's just a mindset of a company. So it seems to be a lot of companies that train drivers never get past that. They don't have anybody in there to move the drivers to. That's how I would do it. Once you get experience, I'd move you over to somebody that deals with experienced drivers. The Drive By Night, excellent movie. Roger Bogart, and Raft, great actors. I never heard of that movie. Using CBD before drug tests, like eating a poppy seed muffin. They did that on Mythbusters, if you saw that. And you can eat enough poppy seed muffins to fail a drug test. So no poppy seeds. I handle the 7 channels like a polygamist handles relationships. Divide up the time with the good time management, Chef Matt. All right. I just don't know how you put enough time into each one. Maybe you're doing it great, for all I know. But it just seems like it'd be a lot of work. 7 successful channels would be a lot of work. Roger Penske, is putting a roller wiener on your front grill legal? Does it help if it lights up? Yeah, the thing, they don't freeze. There's something in them. They don't freeze. They won't melt. They don't burn, nothing. And look, if you have a roller wiener that lights up, I don't know what says Christmas more than that. I saw a tow truck with changing color 2 million candle power light bar. It included blue. Now, blue on an emergency vehicle might be legal in that state or whatever. That might be allowed. That's a different story. I've seen drivers that kind of wrap their mirrors and stuff with Christmas lights that blink. That's not allowed. Cash King, I did Charlotte a couple weeks ago. Lots of 1099 Chicago carriers. I love it. 1099. Was Amazon in there at $15? Roy, what do I drive now? We have a 19 Ford Escape, and a 13 Chevy Sonic. And the Sonic will be the one that will be moving on. If I was going to be local, I would look at fuel hauling or Bulkmatic. Oh, fuel hauling. Who advertises around here? Circle K constantly advertises around here for local drivers. So that would be something that pretty much anybody in the Indianapolis area could certainly get into. When is GATS? Next year, August, September. And I don't know if they're going to cancel it. Maybe. Did you see Cardinal Logistics got hacked? Looked like a customer info and contacts are showing up on the dark web. They did, because they didn't pay the ransom. These companies get hacked by these outside places, possibly by this guy. Not sure. The tracksuit kind of says hacker on it. But then when you don't pay the ransom, they start dribbling out the information that they get from you to make you pay. Poppy seeds, what is this, an episode of Seinfeld? Oh, not that there'd be anything wrong with it. But no, Mythbusters did that. And yeah, poppy seeds can give you a positive on a drug test. It is true. So I tend to not have poppy seeds until after I get back Friday night. So that, because they don't last long, it's not like you get it for months, but yeah. It's still less work than a farm. Well, that's probably true. Anything that seems like work to you also, you shouldn't do. It's just my opinion. Only do the things that you like. Night starts you with the training dispatcher for 30,000 miles, and then moves you over to a regular dispatcher, kitchen cop. Well, then why don't people stay there? I mean, they need to change not just the dispatch, but the way that you're handled there. Like, once you get experience, let you fuel wherever you want, if night's one of those places, because a lot of them don't let you fuel wherever you want. Let you, give you a lot more freedom to run the truck. A good manager doesn't micromanage all of his people. He hires good people and then lets them do their job. That's how you manage people, right? Give them the assignment and let them go do it. So, and you know that they're doing it right. That's it. Don't stop micromanaging all these people. That's the problem with a lot of these companies. They micromanage you to death. So people just get out. Has Mythbusters ever debunked the old cranberry juice for clean urine? I don't know if they did cranberry juice. I don't remember that one. So are wreaths officially illegal? What about Christmas lights on the windshield? George Costanza. I don't think the wreaths are illegal. Okay, the idea of wreaths that I was reading about is it's blocking the airflow to the truck, and you could get an engine light, you could get a loss of power, that kind of thing. Christmas lights would be illegal if they're on, because you're not allowed to have other colors than white or red or yellow forward and red or yellow pointing rearward, at least here in Indiana. So any other light besides that's not allowed. A blinking red light or whatever, no way. How lucrative box truck work? I've seen 900 for Hogan, of all places, Hogan in Indianapolis, for box truck. So they run that ad all the time, which I guess means they can't get people to do it. But I've seen 900 home every day for box truck work. And I don't think that's terrible to run a box truck around. My Harley's a 2019 and emissions nearly killed it. Oh, really? Chef man, I drove a bike years ago, but I just wouldn't do it anymore. It's too dangerous. I just find it to be dangerous. There's too many crazy drivers. Will you car check out a Dually 3500 or in a Chevy pickup truck? Yeah, I don't do those. I don't do trucks that much on the channel because I'm not into trucks, and there are not that many of them. I have some trucks on there, though. I do have some trucks. The official car of the Korean Mafia is a K900 Black, of course. Kia K900, right, of course, which I had a few weeks ago on there. Eddie McFadden, hello. Who do I drive for? Well, I never get that question, which is good. For new people, I do the show every week at 12:30, and I really never say who I drive for because that keeps them out of my channel. Then they don't have any say in what I say, and I don't speak for them, certainly. And also, I don't recruit for them. Many drivers out here recruiting, and look, if you like your company, I think you should recruit for them because people need to find a good company. But I don't recruit for them. I let them do that. So that's why that stays out of there. You can run radiator curtains, but check the truck's manual. Right, mine says no curtains. Never cover the radiator. I haven't covered a radiator the whole for I don't know how many years. Have not done it. All the way, we saw 23 below zero. No radiator covers on the truck, and it gets warm. So I think if your truck's not getting warm without covering up the radiator, I think you need to get the truck fixed. Unless you're running some old truck around. It should get warm no matter what the outside temperature is. Night has crazy pay. Too many ways not to get paid rather than how to get paid. Once you start getting 50 million ways to get paid, they always have a way to not pay you. Plus, companies that say, we only pay you, which is not that many anymore, if we get paid. I love that. When some of them even advertise that. You only get detention if we get detention. Well, number one, how do I know you got detention? You could say, we never got it, so they could lie to you. Or, so what? They don't get it. They go, we didn't get it. Sorry, that day you sat there, we're not paying you. That isn't right as an employee, I don't think. I'm not in business, right? I don't have a contract with them. I'm an employee and I expect to get paid. So I don't like that kind of thing. Just give me an easy way to get paid. Just simplify it. Here they have those LED scent things called poppies. Smells like Walmart scent candles. Cops have to pull people over for those if they're lit up. Really? Yeah, see, anything that lights up, anything that's not an official light, you can get stopped for. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get people not to get a ticket. Don't light up all these Christmas lights while you are driving around. Is it a violation if the roller arena and the grill has all of its lights out except the tip? What about the buns? Any light that you put in your wiener has to work. How about that? And your buns also have to light up. George Costanza had to help jump 3 dead trucks last week in the Northeast. What are people doing? Everyone should carry 1-gauge jumper cables. Holy mackerel, 1 gauge. Just happy to help prevent new drivers from getting a chargeable incident. I agree, but I mean, 1 gauge? Is that what a truck would need? It's just 12 volts. You can jump the thing off your car because people at work have done it. I don't know about 1 gauge. How do you bend it? It's like 2 inches thick. It'd be like a pencil thickness, right? Knight runs its terminals different. Each terminal is ran like an independent business. When I started trucking, I ran out of Tulare, California. We had a lot of freedom there. See, why don't they learn from that at their other places? If once you get experience, they should let you go a little bit. If you let any loves or whatever, and I don't know how Knight fuels, if they're one of those places that makes you feel at a certain place. But some do. Some start you like that and say, okay, for 3 months, we're going to determine where you fuel. And then after that, you can fuel wherever you want. You know, if you let any loves, by then you're learning where they are. Hopefully your trainers taught you stuff, you know. Oh, Fleet Nav Systems is here, back. Let's see, where did I go off to? I left Knight because the pay just wasn't that great. If they paid more, I would have gladly stayed. And that's the thing, they don't accelerate pay enough at training companies. Yeah, they're right, they start you lower where you start, but if you're willing to stay at a year, let's give you a big bump. That would encourage you to stay. It's all right, at a year, you get 12 cents a mile raise or something like that. You might stay then. See that? So you might stay. Mark, I'm sorry, that poppy seed thing is hogwash. I've never failed a drug screen. I've eaten them since kindergarten. George Wilson. All I'm saying, look, I haven't failed because of it. There's a Mythbusters, which is probably online somewhere. Go search the poppy seeds, and they did it with poppy seeds, and they gave each other drug tests, you know, and they kept eating them, and eventually he did get a positive on the drug test. He did, from poppy seeds. Now, it wasn't one bun worth. But, I mean, if you really like poppy seed things, they did fail a drug screen because of it. Pretty interesting, I thought. Alexandra, hey, Mark and other drivers, what's going on? I think a lot of the turnover is due to team situations. Sure. And a lot of people that get in driving, especially when they're laid off and get forced into it by the government. It says, hey, you can be a truck driver or whatever. Those people don't have their heart in it. They're just in it for either a short period of time or whatever. Their company calls them back. You know, it's not your regular job. Night Giant Purple K, Marty, what's happening? The Mulholland Bulldog. We don't follow the normal laws of the road. That is true. You don't. Robert Daniel, I'll just say it this way. Blue and green lights are illegal in most states. Yes, you can't have these different colored lights. And depending on the officer, because some people will say, well, Mark, I run this light. I never got pulled over. Well, that doesn't mean it's not illegal. It just means you've not been stopped. That'd be like saying I drive 90 every day and I never get stopped. Well, that doesn't mean you know. Roger Penske, I've tested mildly positive after eating 2 poppy seed bagels. Mildly positive. I like that. Back when I lived in Vegas and it was not for work. Okay. In Vegas. And I wasn't a driver at the time. It was a urine test, one of those off-the-shelf tests that darkened different portions of strips. Yeah, you can test positive from it. Yep. Taking off in 10-ish. So if you guys have any ELD questions, we can help put them in now, Fleet Nav Systems. Service your batteries. Low charge, low fluid batteries like to crack. Yes. Everything should be tested and all that before winter. And then it won't start your truck, right, or leave your truck running. George Costanza, my buddy at Werner, said for 23 hours waiting on a hazmat load. Wasn't paid anything. Wow, that's like almost a day. That would be a day in metric system. I ran the load for normal pay. Really shocked me that a company runs hazmat loads at normal rates. Yeah, anymore, aren't places paying extra for hazmat? Some, they do it different ways. Some of them I'll see pay per load, and then some pay you the whole year, a couple of cents a mile for the entire year for having your hazmat. But the thing is, if Werner can get him to do it, then I don't know what to say. Did Werner at least pay for his hazmat? Do they at least pay for him to go renew it whenever it renews? At least that. Check your blinker fluid as well. You don't want to run out because when it gets low, it tends to freeze. John Michael Finch. Oh my, these companies are so disrespectful. That is correct. That's the problem. That's why they can't get people. Fleet, the Korean Mafia won't give us yard move or personal conveyance. That doesn't work. Yeah, it's up to the company. Like, we don't have personal conveyance either. It's not allowed. Are food loads still exempt from the hours of service? They are. You got another, a couple of weeks on this, right? You say you drive for when I retire. Yeah, if I move companies or whatever, I will. Are they required to give all legal features? No, the companies can decide whether you get to use personal conveyance, that kind of thing. It's not allowed here. The companies can always limit that. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Roller Wiener. Oh, we should make a song up. Well, I haven't killed anyone yet today, Alexander. Well, that's good news. Of course, it's still early. It's still early. Put your throwing knives away. I had a poppy bagel the day I had a drug screen, and the company never called me. They said I was a match. That was 20 years ago. One poppy seed bagel, if I remember right, on Mythbusters was not enough. He ate several of them. Mustache guy, whose name I can't think of, was the one eating them. But you can get busted for it. Beautiful day for trucking in Georgia, Sea Hill. We'll let you know when we quit counting votes. You're still counting down there? In Georgia, you're about to have another election. Happy Roller Wiener Monday, and everyone and all end users. Jim Trucker, hello. Mike F. Drivers need to say no to driver-facing camera. If we keep accepting them, they will become mandatory. That day was long past, I think. When the first one came out, that should have been the end of that at the company. No driver should drive, but I think it's past that. Drivers are very accepting of them at companies where they're voluntary. Drivers accept them. So most drivers accept them. I don't know how to get rid of them now. We're past the point of getting rid of them. I know that the Geotab, at least you have to have a rule set specified with split sleeper for order for that feature to work. All these goofy rule sets, I don't know why Geotab does that. Because there's different rule sets, and depending on your company, like here, I can't change the rule set. So if I wanted to actually split sleeper, because I now have a sleeper, I can't. Because I can't change the rule set, and if it's after hours, I can't get anybody to change the rule set until the next day. 00 is much thicker than 1 gauge. 1 gauge, Marty, seems thick enough. 1 gauge jumper cables, I wouldn't know where to get those. I do have a set in my car, because I figured if my car ever didn't start, I could start it from the truck. I would just pull up to it and start it that way. Will JB Hunt be transporting the vaccine? That must be kept at minus 100 degrees. Scary. Tommy Cash. Well, they said that companies are ready to transport. Companies came out and they did a test of this. Look. They did a test last week, if you heard it on the radio, in, I'm going to say Denver. It was in Colorado. They flew it into the airport and then drove it over to a hospital to see how it would go. Who did they have pick it up? Just a courier service, like Postmates. That's who they have doing it, taking it over to the hospital. So you're just on your app. Oh, what do you know? Oh, COVID vaccine. Okay, I'll accept it. Really? That's who they had doing it? Yeah. Just some goober drove it over there for like $3 or whatever plus tip. Unbelievable. Shouldn't they have, if it's this important, they ought to have the National Guard distribute it. The Mythbuster dude is Jamie. That's right. His name was Jamie. Right. Jamie Hyman. Heidemann. How about that woman, you got to remember the mustache. How about that woman that rode with two guys at England for 2 weeks? She got 14 cents per mile. It's on YouTube. Yeah, George Wilson, I didn't see it, but I totally believe it. That's about what they pay. That's correct. And she wouldn't be required to ride with them. They do ask people, as I've had people send me that. But if she wouldn't have gone, the problem is she would have to go home and wait for a woman. And they don't pay you to wait. It could be weeks. That's the problem. My company gives us a PC, but board moves. Yeah, Robert. So your company gives you that, and not other ones, right? We're not allowed PC here because they said we don't want you driving the truck on your own time. So we're not giving you that. You can't do PC because we don't want you to. So the different rule sets are required so that the system knows how to properly calculate time based on the specified rule set. I know, but it's just a pain. Because you could need one rule set one day, but then the next day I might need the other rule set. Like I get the 16-hour exemption rule set, which is what I'm on now. But depending in the wintertime especially, I might need to not use that because, say, I haven't used that, but I want to use the split sleeper. I can't. I can't switch it over because I can't switch the rule set. Just let me do whatever I'm going to do legally. Alexandra, it's more of an axe day if I lose my bananas. Yikes. That's not great. That's going to be a mess, too. You're going to want some bleach for that. Cash King Trucking, you need special cream to get rid of dash cams. No, wait, that's correct. Yeah, that's different. You need that little comb. For the fact that you don't change your rule set, that's a company decision. They could change it so that you'd be able to change it yourself. Oh, look. Okay, I know the drivers here. They don't do that because the drivers would totally screw it up. I totally understand that. They'd constantly get calls. Oh, sorry, I accidentally changed my rule set. What do I do now? So I totally see why they do it. But I just think the log ought to be able to be used as a log. Like if I have a paper log, I can log however is legal that day. This should just allow me to log, and it would know what's legal or not. When I was at night, they gave me an extra half a cent for all mouses for having your hazmat. Okay, Kelly, so they're paying there for hazmat just the whole year. They just like, here's extra money for the entire year, whether you get a load or not. Yeah, that's another good way to do it. George H.W. Bush, I think it's FedEx and UPS delivering vaccines. They, depending where you are, they did say that they are ready to take the vaccine. That is true. But they ran this test because they made a big deal about it on the radio, and they just had it picked up by a local courier at the airport. And it was just like Uber or somebody. It was just like a regular courier with some guy in his car. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm very nervous. It's back there in my trunk. I'm like, because the reporter rode with him. I thought, oh, my gosh, really? Black sesame seeds, chia seeds are used as a poppy seed substitute. Chia, really? So you can go scrape off that guy and scrape the chia seeds and eat those as a poppy seed substitute? This wouldn't be a poppy seed roll, though, right? That's the idea of a poppy seed roll. Cash is King Trucking. FedEx contractor won a contract to distribute the vaccine in Canada. FedEx Custom Critical. Really? They can just do it in a van up there. It's so cold. When they get a positive for opiates, they normally retest with a more accurate test to make sure it's not poppy. That's one reason they get a split urine sample. Well, but okay, I agree. Wouldn't the split sample be, I mean, you're just splitting it off into two sections, right? Or do they actually do, oh, so you're saying they do a more accurate test to make sure that you didn't eat poppy seeds? Did you put poppy seeds down in that section where it says medicine? Put down all the medications that you've used so that, you know, they can determine what the problem is. Maybe you should put down, today I ate 7 poppy seeds. Maybe we should put that down anyway on a drug screen. I had a bunch of poppy seed rolls before I came in today. I didn't know it was going to be here. Oh, that's not a bad idea. Then when it comes up positive, you go, it must have been all them poppy seed rolls. It couldn't be all that meth I'm doing. Captain Flatbed, what's going on? Cash is King Trucking. If they put chia seeds on my bagel, I'm putting water on the thing and setting it in my kitchen window. Exactly. Imagine what that thing is. I'm surprised they don't sell that. That's the only one they don't sell at 2 in the morning. Of course, or at Meyer. They have a bunch of them there. Howdy from Ohio. What's happening in Ohio? It's chilly here today, but sunny. And we're supposed to get a little bit of snow on Wednesday out of that huge snow that apparently is coming on the East Coast. The farther east you get, the worse it gets. So everybody needs to be out of there immediately. Fleet Nav Systems, hello to Captain Flatbed. Yes. Rand McNally, you know, they still have some ELDs not working. That's what they said. Now, they go, okay, we still may have some people experiencing problems. So here's what they said. If you have a Rand McNally ELD, sign out of it and then log completely out of the system. And if it asks you to verify your logs when you're logging out, hit cancel. That's what they said. Then it will allow you to log out. It sends all those things to the system and then log back in, and it should allow you to accept and all your logs so that the ELD starts working again. I can't believe it. This was November 30th. They went out. They're past their 8 days now. So that's what Rand McNally said to do just today for people whose ELD still doesn't work. I don't know if anybody has one on here. You might, and if it isn't working, that's what they said to do. Peaches and grease. Oh, I used to have that oatmeal in the morning. It came in that multi-pack. Headed to Kansas today. Hopefully dispatch keeps me west from there. Thanks for the weather update. Yeah, you're welcome. I mean, they said this is going to be the biggest storm in years on the East Coast. That's what they were saying. It won't quite make it over here, but once you get into the middle of Pennsylvania, it was going to really start snowing. That's what they were talking about. Donkey Bite, what'd you miss? You missed the big weather report. You know that 12-month driver report you have to fill out every year with your company? When they go, hey, Mark, fill this report out. They may not say Mark to you, but every year you have to list all your violations in the last 12 months, and put and then you sign it and turn it in. Well, the FMCSA says, you know what? We don't need to do that anymore. What they're saying is that because the company is also required to check your driving record every year, that it's redundant. Duh. And so they said by late winter, they'll have a rule out where you will no longer be required to fill out the 12-month driver report that you do every year, and we always have done. If you have a Ram McNally ELD, you should call to Fleet Nav Systems. They can hook you up with an ELD that actually works. How about that? Get a Geotab, although you can have to change your own rule sets. Kyle, I was late. Darn it. Oh, dang it. You got to watch that clock for that. Cassius King Trucking. I wonder what's really going on with the Rand McNally ELD. I personally think they got hacked just like Cardinal did. That's what I think. And I think that for a while they didn't pay, and that now they paid. That's how I think it worked. That's generally the only way that you're able to get out of that kind of thing. You have to pay the Bitcoin $1 million or whatever. Yeah, I think so. Now, they didn't admit that, so I think I'm going to miss that I confess all my sins in that. Yes, don't do that here. Worse than that cold snap in north central area a year ago. Wasn't like -50. Yeah, but nobody worries about the cold. This snow will be, I'd rather it was cold than snowed. I can tolerate the cold. Driver-facing cameras are here to stay, George Costanza. I agree. You want to stop them? Stop playing with your phone and watching movies. See people swerving all over the road. That's true, too. I mean, I'm sure we all see why they do this. And every time I see somebody tailgating or something, I'm wondering, why doesn't that company have a camera? At least one that faces forward. Because it would end that kind of thing. Hopefully. Because this truck doesn't have that forward radar that I have now for some reason. Some of the 19s don't have it, I guess. The one I have doesn't have it. But our trucks that have that forward radar, if you're too close to a car for more than a couple seconds, it sets stuff off in the truck. Alarms go off, balloons come out of the truck, all kinds of stuff happens. So that could be a problem. Don't do all that stuff. Got to run. Have a great week. We'll see you next time. All right, Fleet Nav Systems, thank you. Go help some more Ram McNally customers. Even Google was shut down today. Tommy Cash. Yeah, I wondered if that was a hack or whatever happened with that. It shut all of Google down. Gmail, everything. The Google Meetings, which is a video conferencing system, YouTube, everything went down for a while. And I thought, oh, well, that might be the end of that Monday streak for me. But no, it's back up now, fortunately. Fortunately, they got it back running. I figured Google would have hundreds of people working on the deal. I discovered this week when 20-ounce latte on my lap that I drive for. Sorry about that. Very distracting. Yeah, exactly. Use your cup holders. Select Trucks says that they have a gigantic increase in their sales. Has anybody gotten a Select truck ever? They expanded their dealer network and they've had a huge, apparently, increase in sales of used trucks. And that's another way to get a used truck. I don't know what the deal is over there, but a lot of their trucks have a warranty. A lot of them are ex-company trucks, which I don't know if that's great or not. But a lot of the companies that lease you a truck, when they have these company lease, oh, we'll lease your truck or whatever, a lot of them, they just go buy a Select truck. That's what Select Truck was saying. And then they get leased out to drivers through a company. You're better off going to Select Trucks yourself, getting the truck, and then leasing it on somewhere, rather than leasing from the company that's leasing it from Select Trucks. That seems like a big waste, really. I don't type, I just scream into your phone. How does that work? Does that work okay? Don't forget about Fleet Nav Systems, too. They do Geotab all the time, although they cannot always help with the rule set changes, because that's a company thing. So I should have put that up earlier. That's why I don't charge people for that, because they'd never pay me anyways. Because they just wouldn't. They're like, oh, this guy's horrible. And pay raises are all over, but only at these horrible places. Most places that have been paying good, we're not seeing a pay raise out of them. And did you notice that companies are falling all over themselves also to announce it? Because a lot of the articles that you read on CDL Life and all these places, they're all sponsored. Companies put out a press release, or they even pay to get the announcement put on there. It's a sponsored announcement, even though it looks like a news story. And it'll all say the reporter's one name, Misty, or what's Christine, who the other one's on there? It's Ashley. That's the other one. There are three women's names always on these, always on the news articles for some reason. And they run these articles as news, but they're not news. CDL Life is big on that. And it's an announcement from company. It's just a paid ad, basically. And they're always like, look how great we are. Look how we're wonderful. We're giving these the biggest raise ever. Yeah, when you're paying people 14 cents a mile like that, even for 4,000 miles a week, what, 5,000 miles? That's nothing. That's $700 a week to be gone. And she's got to hang out with two dudes in the truck, like that woman on that we just talked about a moment ago at England. Oh, I'm sure that's wonderful. I'm sure that just is wonderful. Would Gracie do that? I doubt it. She wouldn't be impressed with 14 cents a mile. She'd sleep through it. That's what would happen. I'll tell you that right now. Holy moly. Oh, let's see, where did I go? Oh, I went right off to Blue Parrot is a great company, but the 550 is straight trash. The 450 George Costanza, I don't have any fancy stuff. I'm at the 350 level still. I never thought the 550 was worth the extra money. I thought, oh, you're not really getting enough to pay the extra money. Google shut down, no wonder I can't get my more in Alexandria. Yeah, you're going to have to go through some kind of alternative, method to get it. Sunday, all the ATM machines in our town quit working. A good reminder that drivers should keep $200 in cash with them just in case of a large internet outage. Columbia, George, yes. You should always have some money on you in case you need to use it for something. Don't just depend on a card to work. Although I haven't used an ATM machine in I don't know how long. Certainly I would pay with the card rather than going to get money. Are the megacares building back better? Oh, Dash Cam Sim. Yeah, they're trying to finally lure people over with money, but then you get there and you're still treated poorly, and so you still leave. Someday, hopefully, they'll realize that isn't money that's the problem. And even when you survey drivers, money is never the number one problem. It's like between 2 and 4 right in there when they survey drivers. Offered them $5 for roller Weiner feature, but they poured sand. Apparently, it's $20 minimum. We used to have access to PC until some Billy Big Rigger decided to abuse it. Pigpen, that's always what happens at companies. They'll let PC go, and then somebody PCs 800 miles or does it with a load and gets in trouble. And then they're like, forget it. We can't do this because we're getting the points for this kind of thing. And so then nobody can use it. I agree. Jim Trucker got a 2-cent increase. That's pretty good. 2 cents, a couple of $1,000 a year. Building back better should be a model for a chiropractic clinic. Oh, right. Chiropractic clinic. That's where people work that are almost doctors. These pay raises at these companies, though, I'm really surprised that they all come out all at once. It's as if they had like some kind of, mob mentality or whatever, where they all work together and say, all right, we'll all announce this all at once. They all just stay right at the same level. It's as if they had like an organization that was directing this or something. I don't know. You can't pay anywhere cash when the registers are offline. Okay, that's a problem too. I got a 0.0167 increase. Really? How do they figure that on your check? I mean, how many weeks is that going to come out even? And where's the rest of it? Do they hold it over or whatever? The tax man's not a joke. Boss gets fined $10,000 here if we don't offer the customer a receipt. And that's just the first offense. The $10,000 if we don't offer the customer a receipt. Wow. Who gets that money? I mean, who's fining somebody for no receipt? You don't know about the U.S., but here you have to use a taxman black box on the registers. Oh, that's not. I don't think that's a deal here. Wherever that's going on, yeah, that's not a problem here. Half the time, they're like, "You want a receipt or whatever?" That's not a big deal. If the cash doesn't work, bring the gun. Well, hopefully the registers go back up before we have to resort to violence to get that work. No power, no sale. Yeah. Meyer had an outage, I don't know, months ago. There was a big windstorm, and they just made everybody leave. Chef Matt, crab companies must be some secret organized crime ring. It's as if there's an organization that they can all get together and decide things and then do it all at the same time. I don't understand. I got a 2-cent pay raise for driver appreciation. Nice. They give us a metal straw Really, with a warning label that said, do not drive and use this straw. They give you a metal straw, I guess, so you can sanitize it for your protection. Do not drive and use the straw. So you have to stop to use a metal straw. Is it the size of a straw? And is it bendy in the middle? Taxmen are going hard after the cash only, no tax economy. Yeah, well, they don't do that here. Half the companies that I see advertised now are 1099, meaning they don't take any taxes out of your check. And I guess the tax people here are okay with it because they're advertising publicly with it. It's like they're just standing around in the street. You know, they just say, look, we're just going to just go against everything that's lawful and have 1099. And drivers are like, oh, that's awesome. All the companies go, next roll of Wiener Monday, it's bacon chili cheese wieners. Oh, really? Fancy. We're fancying it up for that day? Technically, the gun isn't violence, it's applied violence. Right, it's attempted violence. How about that? Well, I guess as long as you leave the money there, you haven't stolen anything. That'd be an interesting argument for Handel on the law to ask him, if you just took something and left the money, if the registers weren't working, did you really steal it? Probably not. I would say you probably didn't steal it. Taxman here said if they only drive for company X, they're not 1099, they're employees. Yeah, that's the law here. If you drive for a company, they provide the truck. Like all these places in these ads now are just bold about it. 1099, we give you the truck. We pay everything. Yeah, but nobody does anything about it. 1099 is great when you have a fake ID and driver's license. Well, that would help. Save the planet of metal straws. I used my first paper straw the other day. Paper straws are horrible. I don't know who thought, something that liquid goes through, let's make it out of paper. That ought to be great. Yeah, it disintegrates in like 2 seconds. They're terrible. What is going on? A metal straw can be made into a prison shank, Chef Matt, so we don't distribute these in prisons. Okay, so you can make a regular straw into a pretty good shank if you had a few of them and taped them together, so. Lots of hotshot loads pay in an envelope, so I've heard. That would be nice to get paid in an envelope. Here's your envelope of pay. I used to get paid at a company. They paid us $200 a week of pay. And the rest of your pay was in a com check every week. I can't remember what I got a mile. 30-something cents a mile, it seems like. And that's how you got paid every week. So you only made $10,000 on your pay. The rest of it came as a com check. They would give you, you'd call in Friday, and they gave you the number, the 87-digit number, and you could cash it anywhere. You just go into the TA or wherever, Petro, and they would print them out, like $200 a com check. It seems like it was $200 was a max or $300 was max. And they'd print out 3 or 4 of them and give them to you. And you could cash them in as you went through the week. Yep, that's how that pay worked. I like the companies that say we can pay you W-2 or 1099, like it's an option. Cash is king. Yeah, some of them say that. Your choice. Hey, you get the choice. It's up to you. You choose. It's your 1099. Use it how you want. The company is at fault, not the individual, because its company is supposed to $600 let you go or pay you W-2. Marty, yeah, but they don't. They don't follow it. And it's not enforced. That's the real problem. They would follow it if it was enforced. It only gets enforced when somebody gets hurt. Because then once in a while people write to me. I go, yeah, go down immediately and file for workman's comp. When you're turned down, you explain to them how you work there and that you're actually an employee, that they're misclassifying illegally, and that the company needs to provide you workman's comp or pay your medical bills. That gets people involved. The key to prison shanks is that you melt the plastic down to harden it and create an edge. Well, how do you do that? Lighters are illegal in prison. Robert, those companies are like the 5 mafia families in New York City. Yeah, it's always the same ones that are doing this. I'm waiting for Swift to come out with a pay raise. A trusted and smart CPA can make things so much easier. It would seem like it. Paper straws with plastic wrappers. Weird. Kentucky Blue. These paper straws, if any of you tried them, they're just terrible. And they should go back to Oregon, where I assume they came from. Does anyone else hit their air horn when no one's around? asking for a friend. He's just in the random truck stop. You're just in the back, and it's air horn time. Nice. That's the same person that rolls through there with their Jake brakes on at full blast at 2 in the morning with their 10-inch straight pipes. Do I need a headache rack to haul metal straws? Maybe. Those. I've seen those things. I haven't seen bendy ones. They look pretty tough. But I can't imagine who uses them. Oh, by the way, was that straw they gave you logoed? Was the company logoed? Anything we get has the company logo on it. So I assume they somehow write it off as some kind of advertising. Peaches and grease. Why are these companies getting into business if they can't even pay a steady wage and have specific classifications for their workers? They're the least purchase of business work. Yeah, well, because it works out for them. They save workman's comp, unemployment, all these other things that they would have to pay you for. In my old local paper, some businessman was taking customers to his new pizza joint. Asked for a receipt to claim expenses. They didn't give him one since they hadn't decided on the tax yet. Nice. Yeah, I see why they do that at a restaurant, certainly. Alexander said, four-wheelers are driving like superior idiots today. More than any other day? Is it more than just a regular any other day? Because most days that's how it is. And you'll be getting more of those as people go out and travel for the holidays, even though I personally don't think they should, but they're going to go do it anyway. Air horns in the tunnel are fun. That's fun, too. That would be good. You need a headache rack because you're too lazy to strap. Those straws are just stacked up there. First bump, you have a million straws everywhere. I do, George Cienza, I have to do my pre-trip at 2:30 a.m. Yikes, it's so dark. And part of the pre-trip is ensuring the air horn works. That's true. You're supposed to pull the hold for 10 seconds. Really? The air horn? You got to pull it for 10 seconds in the yard? Oh, are you going to do this at a truck stop or something? Oh, my God. People are going to start throwing shoes at you. We're not supposed to get snow today or tonight, are we? They're treating the roads here. Christina, we are supposed to get snow here on Wednesday, but it said only up to an inch through the whole day. They do treat a couple days in advance usually, which is nice. But yeah, up to an inch on Wednesday throughout the day. That's all we're expecting. This big storm that's out east, it is not coming this way as of this morning. Cash in an envelope is fine for a load, but I draw the line at gift cards. Here's 3 gift cards that you could use. Thanks for taking this load. Here's a Macy's gift card, Carson Peary Scott, and Goldblatt's. Here's some gift cards and here's a Minus gift card. $50 at each of these. Hey, I want to ask you, how many miles in the United States is the interstate system? I just read that. I wrote it down here. About how many miles is only the interstate system in the United States? It's more than you would think, but maybe less than you would think too. It's actually less than I figured it would be. Miles of interstate system. I was surprised. I thought it would be more. And that includes the interstates in all states. So only interstates though, not state roads, county roads, all these other little roads, none of that stuff. Do you think this guy knows how long the interstate system is? I'm not sure. He keeps walking in with those gigantic feet. Where did he get those? From his daughter? Some old lady attempted to pay me in store coupons. Well, here's a bunch of coupons, young man. Do people use coupons still? Paper coupons? Please help me find the FMCSA regulation on the 10-second air horn check. Exactly. Now, I will say this, okay? A company can have a rule that is more restrictive than FMCSA rules. They've made that very clear. So a company could say, at this company, to do a proper check, you have to let the air horn go for 10 seconds. They could say that as part of their check. That they could do. But the FMCSA wouldn't have a time limit on it. But your company could say, look, you need to hit the horn for 10 seconds to make sure it works and to not have any leaks. So that is a possibility. That's a possibility. Ma'am, I'm going to need some cash money for that. Ooh, 43,000 miles, Alexander. Close. That's closer than I was. I was way high. How's that beet juice working on the roads, Columbia, George? We've used it in Indiana for years. It works great. The problem is that it sticks to your car. It sticks to the inside of your car, so you got to go wash your car. Hawaii is interstates? Yes. In fact, Hawaii, those roads are considered interstates. They have interstate signs on them, and it's considered an interstate. Crazy. Christina, 20,000? Oh, you're low. I guess I was the only one that was super high on it. Christina uses paper coupons. That's pretty good. I didn't know they still did that. I still use coupons, a whole bunch of them, and write down checks. Oh, you're... Really? And never pre-fill it out. I do this just to be difficult. Yeah, you're the guy in line ahead of me. That's super annoying. Writing a check. I've had that occasionally, get that at Meijer. And there'll be somebody... And they get the groceries. The person's ringing up their stuff, and they're waiting there. And then the cashier will be like, whatever, it's however, $90 or whatever. And then one person I heard him, who do I make that out to? Meijer? Okay, maybe the store name. I think they have a stamper up there, but the person asked it. Fill out the check. What are you doing? Who writes a check? I'm like, hello, this is, did I go through a time warp to come in here or something? If you honk on a cop, you get fined even if you use the tiny horn. Don't use any horn against the police. Christina, 50,000. Yeah, much closer. Oh, 46,438, Luke. Very close from what I had. It's Mr. Plow, 48,000. Some coffee dodgers still use check. What is a coffin dodger? Oh, I get it. Wait. Old people. 39,213, give or take. Cash is king. Oh, you know what I have here? The interstate system has two sides to it, so it's double long, Marty. I think they count it all like as 1 mile. Used to shop Goldblatt's on Harlem and Elmwood Park. There was a Goldblatt's in Hammond. For people that are from Hammond, I remember going in there as a little kid. It was the only place I ever went in that had an elevator operator. This was early 70s. And you would get in and he would shut the doors, right? And then you'd tell him 2 or 3, and he pulled a big lever and it went up. Yep, and then he'd open the doors and let you back out. Elevator operator. I have 46,876. 46,876 interstate miles, including Hawaii 1. When I left CRST 6 years ago, I was making 19 cents. Stephen, nice. Did you stay to pay off the contract? And have they bothered you at all about it? The answer should have been make it out to the Grim Reaper, and then a loud shot rings out. Do not write a check in front of me. It's so aggravating. Creepy Joe, nice. Your wife, who is a doctor, as we shall always remember, coupons at CVS or Walgreens. Saves a ton on everyday items. Extreme couponing is her motivation, but there's not enough coupons to extreme coupon anymore. Write checks. You're making me feel bad, Christina. Look, I don't mind if you write a check. Just don't write it in front of me. Or at least, if you're going to write a check, when they're ringing your groceries up, you can fill the part of the date and Meijer to Meijer. Sign it. Put a little memo. Groceries while Mark waits. That kind of thing. You can do all that. Then just fill the amount in and the little line so the cashier doesn't write and $10 million at the end of it. So, I just don't get writing a check anymore. I just don't understand it. Coffin Dodger, really old people. I got that too late, yeah. Captain Flatbed blew the train horn to the state trooper Sunday. He way back smiling like a 10-year-old. Nice. That's the kind of trooper we want. He saw a convoy and he was scared of truckers. He saw a convoy. He goes, that was just on the night before. You should have asked the interstate question when Google was down. Oh, right, Tommy Cash. But except we wouldn't be doing the show if Google was down. They own YouTube. So I'd be asking it, but the screen would be blank. Why do companies get away with being overweight on the steers at weigh stations? Because they have the fifth wheel non-movable? Well, the steers are, depends on your tires, how much you really are allowed up front. You can have tires. That's why oversized loads have those big, gigantic steer tires. It's really a tire weight issue. On a single axle, you'd be 20,000. But it doesn't work out that way because your steer tires are not that much. I think ours are 6,400 a piece if I looked on them once. So I'm really 12.8 I could go on them. Although you saw, if anybody watched the video on Friday, I'm very light. That's loaded weight coming back. I go down empty most days. And that's loaded weight coming back. I'm 46,000 or something. But yeah, you don't have to be exactly right on that. You need to learn extreme couponing. Forget it. I've seen people do this too, and look, if this is you, I don't understand it. One woman was arguing with the cashier I don't know for how long. 3 hours? I don't know. It seemed like it. Over a 25-cent coupon. Okay, please. 25 cents is not going to change your life. That is not going to change your life. Okay, forget it. It's a quarter. This went from Trucking Answers to The Price is Right. Creepy Joe. Yeah, exactly. Write a check for $3.95. It's crazy. I don't think we write checks for anything here. I'm thinking of bills. They're all paid online or electronically. I can't remember writing a check. I haven't written a check in a long time. Air brake integrity test is 1 minute press and hold. Makes sense that an air horn integrity test is the same way. It might be 2:30 at the Loves, but rules are rules. Okay, I would like to see the time on the air horn test, though. How many people are out there yelling at you at that point? They're throwing their checkbooks at you. Yeah, I knee-jerk the Google search. Yeah, that's okay, right. How can Hawaii have an interstate? What state does it connect to? Tommy Cash. I don't make up the rules. Hawaii is considered an interstate road. The ring road or whatever, H1, is an interstate. They're interstate signs, too. Is it mandatory that the receipts at CVS are as long as a garden hose? I know. You get over there. I've picked up prescriptions there, and the receipt is 40 feet long. I'm like, why? What is the story? Why is it all like this? And only at the little bottom do they write anything crazy. Publix on Florida will print all the info, including the name, amount, etc. Yeah, you don't have to fill all this stuff out. You don't have to write a check to anybody. Is it true that GP Transco drivers get paid their bonus with S&H green stamps? Columbia George, who remembers green stamps as a truck driver? I do remember getting green stamps. I still have, I don't know how many books of them. I don't know where they are. I had tons of books of those stamps filled out. I remember going to places and they would pull that thing down and pull all those stamps out and give them to you. Oh, yeah. Green stamps. Out of 46,876, how many were told, ooh, I don't have the breakdown? Can't you load more than 14,000 on steers? It depends how much the tires will hold. So in these overweight trucks that are permitted, they have huge steer tires because those steer tires will hold 10,000 pounds apiece. So you can put more on there depending on your tires. Just the ones with the teal-colored trucks, right? Except there aren't any. Can I write a check for $10 over? Oh, right. How much more do you want with that? Man, here's 50 cents. Now, they don't want that. They're like, no, he's going to accept this coupon. I'm like, well, you're a financial genius. I had to call Buffett and tell him about this deal you got going here. You may not know anything about it. 25 cents. You're going to argue over 25 cents? Oh, my gosh. The movie Convoy scared you shouldn't see Duel. Right. What about that? Where's the ATA about that? They were all up in arms about Big Sky. What about Duel? I thought that what more of a truck movie is there where the truck driver's the villain than that? Alaska, the highway is dirt. I don't think the highway, though, once it turns to dirt, is not considered an interstate. The road to Prudhoe Bay is not an interstate system. I don't think. That Hawaiian interstate is legit if you have an amphibious car. Cash is king. It's got to go between the islands. What are green stamps? They were little stamps the size of a postage stamp, really, for different amounts, 2, 5, 10, and you would put them in books that looked like food stamp books, really. And you'd fill these books up, and once a book was full, you could trade them into the S&H company because there were S&H green stamps for items. They had a catalog. Hey, a TV's only 48 billion stamps or whatever, and you'd turn them in and get your 12-inch portable TV that you could watch. Yep. And they gave these out for several years of my starting driving, so I have a lot of these stamps left. A whole lot of windmill fuel from Hawaii to California. Wow, that would be great. I had Subway sandwich stamps. That's almost the same. Your feet get wet. Nice. My windshield fluid froze this morning. What exactly do you use to prevent this? Greg, I use 90% isopropyl alcohol. And in the cold weather, it's mixed basically 50-50. But today, I'd go dump a quart of that in there. Go get a bottle of it, dump a quart directly into the windshield washer fluid reservoir. And don't listen to the people that say it ruins your seals or whatever. I've never had any problems with it, so dump it right in there. I put it in my cars too, which I wouldn't do. If it ruined the seals, I'd only put it in the truck. But I put it in the cars too without any issue. Jimmy Buffett or Warren, both of them. Probably both. A quarter diesel fuel, 3/4 windshield fluid would keep it from freezing. That's true. You'd have to use more of it. The Dual is a lady villain too? Oh, really? It's called the Dalton Highway. It's rough. George stands it. Right, but it's not an interstate system, right? It's that part of it is not interstate. Alexander, I just watched a movie called Hail Satan the other day. Really? Is that a trucking movie? I never heard of that one. Is that on Netflix? If you have 1 million pilot points, you can get a free coffee and a bagel. But they give so many of them out. We have drivers that go there specifically for the points. A couple of people have told me about that. Mark, why don't you stop at the pilot? You get all those points. One guy's like, I have over $100 of points this year. I'm like, wow, a whole $100? What are you going to do with all that money? I said. And he's like, green stamps your age is showing well, look, S&H green stamps, I'm just saying, that was just recent. Considering my extreme upper 30s, that was very recently. They used to give you so many stamps per gallon of fuel that you got. Apparently, I'm the only one that remembers this. Really? No. The stamps sound like they have as much leverage as Peter Piper pizza tickets. 200 for a Tootsie Roll. Those stamps, peaches, and grease. Yeah. There was a catalog that you could order, and they would send it to your house, and they had all kinds of stuff, just like a regular catalog. It was like getting a catalog from Montgomery Ward's. And you would just look in there, and a couch was 18 trillion stamps. The smaller stuff, pen and pencil set, is, 3,000 stamps or whatever. And you'd send the stamps in with your little coupon from the catalog, and they'd send it back to you. Yep, that's exactly how it worked. Purple Rain X is minus 25 degree rated. I'll cut that stuff, though, with isopropyl, because I don't know how really good that rated stuff is. Use the winter stuff in the wintertime, but cut it with 91% isopropyl. As much as 50-50, it's going to be really cold. That stuff will never freeze. Isopropyl freeze point is 173 degrees below zero. So believe me, you're cutting it. Your freeze point at the end of that windshield wash fluid is probably close to 100 below zero. Green stamp or the Marlboro miles of the truck stops. Well, as being a non-smoker, I never got the Marlboro miles. Although I do see drivers wearing those jackets, and I thought, oh, great, there's somebody who's going to die early. Don't put antifreeze in your washer box. Do not use antifreeze to keep your windshield washer fluid unfrozen. Walk to the grocery store and save like 40% off the bat. Right, depending where it is. Target bill of ladies are fine enough to choke a scanner. Really? Bill of lading? Yeah, I don't understand. Red Monkey Trucking is here. Happy holidays. Yeah, happy holidays to you. What's going on out there? You still out rolling, or are you back home for until next year? What about the bingo system we used back in the day? Oh, right. Yeah, well, I had several trucks. They used to have what looked like a license plate on the front of the truck, but it was marked off into spots the size of a stamp, and you had different stamps for different states. Plus, you had to have some states required their own plate, so the truck might have 4 license plates, plus a bingo plate, which had stamps for other states. You'd have all these numbers on your truck, and you had a bingo card in your truck. It looked just like a bingo card with all the little stickers on it. You had to go figure out, well, I'm going through these states, so I need the stamps for these states. Yeah, it was a total mess. I agree, though. You'd have to have 4. Oregon always had its own plate, and plus your home plate, plus other plates, and the bingo plate. You got $100 in October at 5 points a gallon. Okay, that's $1,200. We'll tell you, is it worth stopping at a pilot, though? Meaning, how much longer would that take me to get the $100 if I ever had to wait than stopping currently at the Petro where I stop, where I have yet to wait? So I pull up, I'm in and out of there. So if there's any waiting at a pilot, how many hours did it take me to make that extra $100 over the Petro? William Hewlett, mid-40s at the house? I wish. We're looking at later in the week for that. Roller wieners and blown seals on the same program. Mark, this is getting out of hand. Yeah, well, you could have both. If you have too many of one, you have the other one. Cassius King Trucker remembers green stamps. They had a pretty sweet Hot Wheels set. Oh, that's true. And used to beg my parents to buy it. Useless thing so I could get that. That's what they do, right? Yeah, the Hot Wheels set. I agree with you. Marlboro had a book, too. You died of cancer to get a Soup Bowl set for 300 packs. I saw some of these guys with these Marlboro jackets, and I thought, oh, that's somebody who's going to die. If you have a fluid checker, you can see both washer fluid and antifreeze. Nice. That's good news. That means my liver will not freeze. That's true. 2 suicide coils. That sounds like a mess. Extra straps on that. At minus 35, mercury freezes. Oh, that's a good fact. An old English film from 58 called Hell Drivers. Check it out. Really? Where'd that come from? Is that on like a TMC channel, Turner Classic Movies? I got a fridge for free with my pilot points. All right. That's pretty good. That's a lot of pilot points. But I always look at time versus money because the most important thing you have is time. So how much extra time did I spend to get that money? Because in the United States, money's easy to get, but time, you can't buy any more time. So that's why I'm asking how much longer would I have to wait at a pilot where there's sometimes a line to get $100 in a month. That's what I'm trying to find out. My grandmother used green stamps as late as the mid-'80s. I know they were, look, I was getting them in the 80s for fueling. So I know they had books and stuff out. I never did cash them in really, and I don't know where they are now. I don't know how many books full of green stamps. Were green stamps only for truck stops? Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Cash is king. No, these were the regular S&H green stamps that some truck stops gave out for fueling. And so I would get a ton of them. Way more than you'd normally get, buying a few little things. Oh, it's not a trucking movie. It's on YouTube and Hulu, Alexander. All right? Hulu. We're not talking sunshine, right? Poor alcohol and trailer airlines when dropping hook in freezing weather. Kenneth, always keep your lines cleared. And when this aggravated me the other day too. I go to pick the truck up from the shop. I go over to the shop and I didn't drop the truck off. It was due for its oil change. They fixed my Bluetooth on the radio. What else did I have? Oh, I had an engine light. He fixed that. Right. So he fixes everything. I get the truck and I note that the airlines are just hanging there because the person that dropped it off, when they dropped the trailer, did not hook up the airlines to the holder, and that aggravates me. That lets water and schmutz and everything get in the lines, even though it's right there. Hang the lines up. If you have to move the truck, drive it at all, hang up the lines on the hanger to keep the airlines clear. It's another one of those things that is a difference between just a driver and a professional, right? I think a detail like that, it bothered me. I'm like, oh, this is aggravating. I hauled a 600-pound load from Minneapolis to Boston this weekend. Yikes. Oh, that better have paid good. I took a 3-cent pay cut to be home every 12 days. They had me out 16 days. I let my dispatcher have it. See, this is the kind of thing. The pay doesn't matter. Get you home when you're supposed to be home. When I would tell them, I want my 3 cents back for all these days that are out, and I want to be home when I'm supposed to be home. My grandmother got S&H at Mott's 5 and Dime store. Exactly. Okay, Woolworths. I used to go to Woolworths 5 and Dime. Marcus from Boston. I'm sorry about that. Near Click and Clack, though, where there's only Click. Christina, I know why I've not heard about hazmat endorsement. They're only allowed to use 5 documents, and I've had more names than 5. Really? So I've had to apply for a passport so they can use the passport and ID. Wow. So now at least you'll be able to travel. But that's cost too. That's not a passport, $100 or more now. Any idea of how much overhaul on a Detroit for a Freightliner costs? Oh, where's an owner operator that knows the overhaul cost? I'm going to say something in the 5-digit range. Don't remember if you use those with an air dryer or not. S&H Green Stamp, Sperry and Hutchinson, Hillside, Illinois, not far from here. Some pilot flying J's aren't that bad, plus I was running at night. That's true. That's what I'm saying. Some aren't. At night, maybe you don't have to wait like me. I agree. But I do see sometimes there's a line because I go, look, the Loves at the 133 in Indiana, a lot of times that is backed up too because it's right across from Amazon. So I'm not going to wait very long to get $100. Cash is King Truck and get $100 in points isn't worth the wretched stench of the pass on the pilot. Right. You'll pass on it. Still rolling, going home for a couple, then going back out. Going back home for Christmas on the 25th. All right. I didn't know if you'd take the month off or how that would work over there. Love's points are the best. I like Love's too. It's not on my side of the highway, though, anymore. Chef Man, Smokey the Bandit has always been my favorite trucking movie. That has always been a good one. I've never had my windshield washer freeze. I've had it freeze years ago, and that's when I started using the alcohol. The Roller Wiener special in Oregon down at the Party Road. Nice. West or east side? Steven Spielberg's first movie technically had an evil truck driver. Yeah, wasn't that his movie? Heading to Walmart, D.C. in St. James. Good luck with that, the grumpy trucker. I hope you get paid for waiting. So how do you get fuel? Does the Air Force do in-flight refueling? No, we're allowed to fuel wherever we want. So I just have an open ComData card. Everybody that takes ComData, so not anywhere you want. So I go to a place that doesn't wait. If I find that the place waits, I don't go there. And I think that saves them money and it saves me time. Because I don't want to sit there and wait. That's why I'm saying if I have to wait at a pilot for $100, how many hours do I have to wait for that $100? If you don't hang the lines, you can't hang with the roller wiener posse. This kind of thing aggravates me. I go pick it up and the lines are just sitting on the catwalk. Anything could get in there when there's shops driving it around or whatever because they don't care. I don't like it. Do you remember the old S&H grandstands building at the end of the Eisenhower? It's been torn down. Oh, no, I don't remember seeing that. I probably did see it, but don't remember where it is, though. Red Monkey Trucking is also in Boston. Wow. Everybody's out there by click and clack land. Fun fact, contrary to popular belief, you cannot drown in quicksand. George Costanza. Good. Like I read this in a meme once that, I thought as an adult, quicksand would be a bigger problem than it is. So I always thought, when I was a kid seeing that, I thought, wow, it's going to be everywhere. Hell Drivers is on YouTube and Prime. Well, Prime. That's for people that have S&H green stamps. Passport is $170 plus $50 for expedited. Oh, super expensive. $220? Christina, holy mackerel. All right, Cash is King Trucking. A full overhaul on a DD15 at the certified Detroit Engine Shop is $36,000. Holy mackerel. You can buy a whole truck for that. Holy moly. Will they give you at least a loaner for that? Oh. $100, I look at 2 laminated motor carrier guides a year. I never got the laminated one. I'd always get the paper one because I like to write in it. So I always got the paper one every year. 2 wrongs don't make a right, but 3 rights make a left. Nice. The movie Breakdown was a good trucker thriller movie. Never saw that either. My trick for the airlines is to push in the trailer valve button when the airlines are unhooked. So push out any water and ice up the lines too. That's pretty good. You Boston guys know Kaislin. Can anyone help out, Joe? Wiper blades are going up by struggling, coming back down. Is the motor going bad? It sounds like the motor's going bad. But I don't know. Turn it off and turn it back on. Kind of like they said with the ELD. Yeah, it sounds like that's not great. Dude is so Bostonian he needs subtitles, no doubt. The movie was called Duel. Yeah, that's a good one. Alexander's headed to Sioux City, Iowa. Is that ice cream again? Is it another load of ice cream? And is that slowing down in the winter? I'm just curious. Now that it's cold, are people eating less ice cream? Probably not, with everybody stuck in their house. There's a character on YouTube, and his name is Mark from Boston. Oh, right. The guy in the commercials? Got it. I've seen him on TV, right. George Costanza, I deliver a DG load to Norfolk. I kid you not. Both streets accessing the store had 2-ton weight restrictions. The store was 100 feet down the road. What do? Well, you're generally allowed to access a street with a weight restriction if you have a local delivery. So I would say with a local delivery, you should be fine going down that street. The idea is I have a load. I deliver right there. A pickup or delivery on a street is okay. Cash King Trucking, I think the rebuild comes with free lube. It needs to. $36,000 is the price of another semi. You got to really consider, do I want to rebuild this? What kind of warranty do you get with a rebuild? So you give them 36 large. What kind of warranty do they give you on that? You have to run into McDonald's, see if I can get a roller wiener, a Mick hot dog, which they used to have. $36,000, that's one CR England driver. You could just have somebody drive a truck for that for a whole year. I probably, personally, for me, I'd be like, no way. No way would I do that. I would just buy another truck, personally. I mean, everything else, because how many miles do you have on a truck once it needs a rebuild? 1 million? More than 1 million? Everything else in the truck has 1 million miles, too. Cash King Trucking picked up an ice cream load in Avon, Massachusetts. Where does that load go off to? Tell the cop, well, you want these Pop-Tarts or not? Duel was Steven Spielberg, right? A great movie. Citizens are allowed to, but just don't get caught. No, I think your argument is, look, I deliver right here. I'm not trying to go down the street. Have a delivery. No, it's a load for Baumgars. Oh, and yes, ice cream loads slowing down in the winter. Well, that'll give you a little bit of off time anyways, and get ready for springtime. Hooking up to trailers. Something was in a trailer. Glad hand stuck fingers in there. A spider popped out. Yuck. Bang on the thing always, right? And always look around for snakes and stuff depending where the trailer's parked. Oh, yikes. $36,000 pays well for bumper cars. That's crazy money. Walmart here in Salem, Indiana. Christina is out of many things on food, mostly frozen. I'll give you that. Yesterday at Meijer. Meijer's out of a lot of stuff. There's still only Meijer toilet paper. A lot of the dairy, I agree with you, frozen and dairy, a lot of the stuff was gone. Now, it's not like there wasn't food there, like, oh, it's Venezuela, there's no food. But a lot of stuff is not in stock. So people are filling up their houses with food again. I don't get the Hyundai Boston commercial. It's wicked smart. Nice. Dell was Spielberg's first movie. I live in Avon. Oh, right there. For a good company driver position in California, van or reefer need benefits. Almost every place gives you benefits. I will say that. Who's in California with a good company? Duel was Spielberg's first commercial movie. Oh. The vaccine's left out yesterday and you're not taking it. So this will be the thing, that will come down to as time goes by, where companies require it. I'm waiting to see the first company to require it, other than a doctor's office. But some companies will require it. Will you take it then? I mean, that's what we said. I would never drive with a camera. I'll never drive it automatic. Every time something comes, drivers are always the first ones to say they won't do it until it actually happens. And then when the vaccine hits your buttocks, then we'll see what happens. And I wonder if it's cold. Since it's stored so cold, does it feel cold? Does it make you feel cold? I wondered about that. I think what I could do here is just have Cassius King Trucking take all of our vaccines. He earlier said he would be taking them all, so he can just he can take them all for us and just sign our names. I have a bad reaction always to the flu vaccine. I got super sick with it last year, and I've only taken it 3 times. Every time I'm sick, and the doctor actually said I probably shouldn't take this one since I have a vaccine reaction, a bad reaction to that. So I'll probably go with him on that. For now, at least. All the routes to industrial area are no truck. That's brilliant. Remember Married with Children? Al's Weiner taught would self-destruct not consumed within a minute after opening. I don't remember him talking about that. Christina, they're saying this is going to go on until at least the end of next year for the mask. Oh, yeah. They said you still have to stay at home. You still have to wear a mask because we don't know who has it. They actually showed an app that will show if you've had the vaccine, you'll be able to show it, because some customers, I guess, shippers and receivers are saying, hey, you got to prove you had it to come in here. And they're developing an app now that you'll be able to sign into and say, here, see, I had it. Exactly. No, you'll stay home on your disability, Christina. Okay, see, you have a way to do it. Exactly. You might, but on that, you also might be able to get out of it with a doctor's note as well. Maybe the doctor can say, well, this won't affect you properly, so you don't have to take it. Not everybody will have to take it. And it won't be, I'm just wondering if companies mandate it. I don't know how many of them will mandate it. George Costanza, always have TP as a DG driver. I can buy it before it gets off the truck, so it's legal for me to utilize a weight-restricted road if it's only way to access delivery. Yeah. Any road, normally the sign says, except local delivery. Because you have to get to the store. They can't just come out 2 blocks or whatever and get it. You're just accessing the store on a delivery. And make sure you have your paperwork that says you are going to that address. Mark from Boston is going to call on his boy Two-Toe Tommy. Two-Toe. That sounds like somebody that the mafia might know down there. Marty, in New Jersey, you're 20. Yeah, time to get out of there. The taxes and stuff would be horrible. And plus, you want to get out there in the next couple of days. There's a huge storm. They said maybe the biggest storm in years. There may be a foot or more of snow by Thursday morning out there. Dashcam Sam supports mandatory vaccinations for truckers. I don't think most drivers would be up for that. I wouldn't support a mandatory vaccination for anybody because they're not good for everybody. Some people would have a medical reason or other reason to not take it. So, great. Colonel Klink will be asking for your papers. Exactly. Hogan, give me the papers. That's what they said. Some shippers and receivers. And that's the difference. They're a private organization. They can say, no vaccine, you can't come in. So, yeah. Christina, my doctor let me go as a patient because I refused to wear a mask. Oh, well, that's true. They usually won't let you in the office. Right now, the office here, because I just had my end of year physical, right? They're not even allowing you in. It's video only. So I videoed in. Beautiful. That's considered a physical from the doctor. You know you're drunk when the wife picks you up from the bar with a pallet jack. Yikes. Chef Matt, demanding that people do things is communist and unconstitutional. Mandating is still demanding. Yeah, I wouldn't agree with that. People recommend it. I would only recommend it. Red Monkey retractions. Vacations, right, Dashcam. I went right through it, missed it, and he got me. Right on it. There, you should have a mandatory vacation as well. But here, the doctor is only doing video unless you have like something grown out of your head or whatever. You can't get in the doctor's office. It's all video. So you wouldn't have to worry about a mask, I guess, because everything's done on video. Red Monkey Trucking. Yeah, I got busted on it. Chef Matt, the country is going full communist. Sit back and enjoy it. They did, but seriously, though, private organizations would be able to prevent you by saying, you'll have to stay out there. You can't come in here because you don't have, what we want here. And so there's an app being developed, probably through Cassius King Trucking. I'm sure he's got his hand in it somehow, where you'll be able to show on there, yeah, I actually had the vaccination, so you can let me in. So they did show, that's been shown on there. I don't know what you do if you don't have a phone. I think we have one driver with no phone. I don't know what else you do. Carry papers. You'd literally carry your papers around with you. A trucker Hershey drunk, overweight. Yeah, everything. Got all the reasons not to take it. Do some truckers require the drivers to wear a mask while driving alone? Well, I don't know if the companies require it, but Samsara, which I showed, has the technology now to see if you're wearing one. I haven't found a company that requires it, but they must, or Samsara wouldn't develop that technology because they're selling it. So somebody must have requested that they be able to watch and see if drivers are wearing a mask while they're driving by themselves. I do see people in cars with it occasionally. I've seen people driving around in a car by themselves with a mask on. Christina, are you really okay about putting your private info online where it can be hacked? No, I don't like it. I wouldn't do that. But I will say your private info is already online where it can be hacked. This is another thing like the camera, kind of. Not like this is good, the next step, but everything's already online. Unless you don't have an email, I mean, you're not online at all. All of our information pretty much is online where it can be hacked already. We've let that horse kind of out of the barn already. Is a publicly traded corporation legally a private company where it can also open to the public? A publicly traded is private. Well, all companies would be a public company where they're private. It's a private meaning not government is what I'm trying to say. So like, I don't know, the Amazon warehouse, they're private. So they can say anybody that comes in here has to have a vaccination because it's not a government company. That's what I'm trying to say. No Weiner at Boston, went to Boston Market, went in Rome. They don't have them at McDonald's, right, because they stopped the McWiener, which I think was called the McHotDog. There goes your private info and HIPAA laws. Christina, well, HIPAA laws only apply between you and your doctor. So people always get that wrong. The doctor is the one that has to keep your information private. If you release it, there's no HIPAA law. For example, if you told me some kind of medical thing, I can tell it to anybody I want. I haven't violated a HIPAA law. I might have violated your privacy or something, but HIPAA is only between you and your medical provider, not between you and anybody else. And really the privacy thing, because people are giving it out voluntarily, that's the problem with the app. People will say, okay, I will voluntarily sign into this app so that I can get in this building. They're not making you do it, right? They're not saying you have to. They're saying you can't come in here unless you sign into it. That's the problem with it. And so people voluntarily do it. They just you volunteer for it. That's the problem with it. Isn't requiring verification of a vaccination a violation of HIPAA? No, because it's only between you and your medical provider. Like my doctor can't release all the diseases that I've had, okay? He can't do it. But you could if I had told him to you. You didn't violate any HIPAA law for me. It might be some other violation, but it isn't a HIPAA violation. It's a Healthcare Act. Samsara in Buddhism is the beginning of this cycle of repeated birth, mundane existence, and dying again. Is that true? That's awesome. That's like the most accurate thing. I wonder if Samsara has an office over there. Oh, that's something. If they take government money, isn't it government? It's not private. Well, that'd be every company almost, really. Meaning it's not run by the government. No Boston market in Boston. So are they still in Boston markets? There's a Boston market here, unless it closed. Online is not private. Right, that's true, right. Anything you put online is, boom, it's out there. Just figure it. As soon as you hit send, it's gone. It's being hacked into the dark web, and you're going to have to pay somebody in Bitcoin pretty soon to get your information back. Dale Miller. Super Trucker, there's a new medical. I meant 2 people who wear masks at the time. It's called dry eye. Dry eye. Long live trucking answers, Adco. I appreciate that. Try Chima Freight Lines. Oh, they have an office in Stockton to whomever wanted a company. All right. I was wondering if any knew anybody place in California. Chima Freight Lines. That would be good because it's not one of these huge places. This vaccine is also the new rDNA-based technology. I did see that. It seems safe. Oh, I'm sure it's safe. They developed it in a few months. And anything that the government has their hand in, like developing this vaccine, is totally safe, I'm sure. They've tested it on dozens of people. Fortunately, we wouldn't, as they said, I forget how it was worded, common people, something to that effect, wouldn't be able to get it for till at least a few more months. It said something about common people, and I thought, was this written by that woman from Sierra, England? Because that's exactly how it was written. But we won't be able to get it, so we'll see what happens. I don't think that it will be publicized if there have been any problems, though. If we continue to eat the roller wieners, we're going to violate the HIPAA laws. I know. Well, you got to get the diet ones. They have diet ones which are hollow. They hollow them out. Ski Trucking, the Boston market I'm at is on the Mass Pike, ripping the rotisserie chicken apart like a Wolverine. Did you tell me you have a CDL? Do they still do that? The Pike, all the way from the East Coast, all the way up the Illinois Toll Road, always gave you a discount if you had a CDL. All the way along. So starting out there at the tip of Illinois, all the way out to the East Coast, as long as you told me you had a license, you got a discount on any of the toll roads, which was nice, at any of the places to eat. So I wonder if they still do that. And did you tell me you have a license that got your 10 or 15% off, so that made your rotisserie chicken only $43 on the Pike, The death rate of the vaccines is huge. I don't think it's going to be super safe. And people said the second shot, because this first one is 2 shots, is a real problem. That the first one, it's only some flu shots, and then the second one, like super bad. So considering how I react to the flu shot, which I'm not going to get anymore, which he couldn't make me get because I had a video in, I probably will avoid this at all costs and get some kind of letter to not take it. They stopped the discount. Oh, too bad. Too bad. You used to be able to get a discount all the way across anywhere you stopped to eat, show your license, got your discount. It seems like they used to have a card too, but maybe you just showed your license. I guess that's been a while since I've been on the toll road. Does I-69 go to Notre Dame? No. You'll have to take 31 straight up there. You can take 31 right out of Indy coming up and go straight to South Bend that way. So there you go. If you want to head up there. And there's no snow at the moment. You'll have a nice sunny day to go up there. I do want to thank GP Transco for being here, even though they just came back. I hope your person that you interviewed did good on the interview, and that you pounded them with question after question. I picture us an interview with just a room with that light hanging over, just a bare bulb hanging there, and just a chair. Tell us your name again. What's your name? That kind of thing. Oh, I love it. I love it. Do you know they just gave a raise at Schuster? Holy mackerel, they gave another raise. There's raises all over the place. You can get a salary and feed your face. There's so many places to work. Dot? Have you worked for Dot? People got to eat. That's what I always say. People got to eat. Fleet Nav Systems was here, which I appreciate. They may have a live show this week. They could announce that. Our flip-flop feet guy was here from Schuster Trucking. That's incredible. Take your daughter's shoes home. Don't forget to go subscribe to Schuster Trucking and watch all of his videos. They're super informative. I hope that you will watch them. And, of course, brought to you by Jay at Auto Transport Intel. What? Yes, Jay at Auto Transport Intel. When this clicks over, which it didn't do, and so it stuck. This is interesting. Oh, there it is. There we go. It was stuck. Gracie, I couldn't get her up there. Oh, I have to click that. Dang it. Mark, after all these years, you could do this better. I could. Schuster Trucking can't wait to take it. We were suggesting when we were gone that you could take all of ours also. Just get the extra ones. Look, if you do get it, I'd like you to make a video about it. If it comes up there or wherever and you take it, do a video about, how it went and all that stuff. I think it'd be really interesting to see. With the advances in modern science and you and your exuberant amount of income, it's foolish to think that you wouldn't live to be 200. That's true. Rolling in at 268 a mile, right? GPs at carrier you've never heard anything bad about. GP Transco, people that go there and then write to me, love it. Okay, they do. They do. Not 100%. No company's 100%. Okay, but pretty much they love it, and I would recommend it. Another great show. Christina, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I play with your Diners Club. Wow. Do you take Diners Club here? Oh, I see. I'm sorry. Did you address me directly? That's what I would say to people. Check out the news in the UK. They have documented some of the side effects. I know, but you know what? Because of the UK and early studies, I take vitamin D. I do that extra. And that's going to be in one of my Fat to Fit ones. Since April, I've been taking extra vitamin D. There were early studies that showed people that had more D either got lighter symptoms or did not get the COVID. There was trying to make a connection. So I just started taking it in April. Has it helped? I don't know. I don't go outside. You can see how pasty I am. I don't get outside much, so I'm taking extra D. I kind of recommend it if you can take it. I don't know. It's just the thing that I'm doing. I always wanted to drive the Natchez Trace Parkway, but it's truck restricted. Go down there in a motorcycle. Get a Ninja, head down. GP Transco, shout out to the flip-flop guy. Hopefully, don't tell me he works at your place. That is not approved footwear. Do you know that guy? Hey, if you got size 13 feet, maybe you shouldn't have size 6 flip-flops from your daughter. Okay, at least have your feet where they're on the shoes. Oh, my gosh. Schuster Trucking might do a live show this week. I don't know. I made up my mind. He may do a live show. I'm not sure. GP Transco is the best company I've worked for. Not to say I don't have some issues, but those are preference issues. That's the thing, right? There's no perfect company. You just do as best you can, right? That gets it close. I think a company that'll pretty much leave you alone and pay you pretty good, I think is the way to go for any experienced driver. Nobody wants to be micromanaged, and no company should want to micromanage people. It seems like it's just a hassle to do. Flip-flop feet, say that 5 times fast. That'd be the good name of a new channel. Cash King takes his to go and put it on eBay. I'd love to see the video of getting that shot. You should ask him if you could video it. They might let you to encourage people to get it. So, Alexander, I have my 6-month review in a few weeks. Woo. So all these places who are doing reviews, I never get reviewed. I feel like I'm left out. Probably because I don't see anybody. I don't want to take a hit from B1, B2, or the B52s. Don't take any hits from the B52s, even if they're in that big Chrysler. I take 50,000 of D2 once a week. Wow, and D 60,000 a day. I'm at 250% times 2 a day. So 500%, which I don't know exactly how many IUs that is, to be honest with you. 5,000 maybe? So you're 12 times me on that. And I thought I was doing good on it. And are you doing that for the same reason? Maybe. Because I read those early studies and I thought, I eat terrible. I don't go outside. Maybe I better at least do something so I don't die in the next couple months. That was kind of my thought about it, really. That's why I did it. So does it work? I have no idea. Who knows? I do have to head off to work, though. So I do want to thank Christina for being here. Oh, Alexandra, thank you for coming in. Well, doggies, right? So I love it. The Hool was here, giving a different perspective. Interesting. Craig Cole, thank you for being here. Dash Cam Sam. GP Transco, I appreciate you coming in today, and I hope you grilled that guy. It's Mr. Plow or woman. Thank you for coming in. Kelly, it's good to see you today. Cassius King Trucking might be live this week, not sure. He's thinking about it. Robert Daniel, thank you for being here. Adco, it's good to see you. Christina, right. So be sure to take 31 up there. So let's see, where did I go off to? Oh, Donkey Bite, thank you for being here. Where am I? I lose my spot all the time. Rolling up here, Robin Johnson. Hello there. Let's see, Chef Matt, cooking up some good comments. I love seeing that. Joe, I love it. Single name, easy to remember. Red Monkey Trucking was here. You should check out their channel. They do some videos over there. They're over at GP Transco teaming. They're a team too. Teams over there. Together both. Love it. Thank you for being here. George Costanza was here. Soon our holiday is coming up. Tommy Cash was here. William Huglet. Alan Benedict. Let's see where I'm off to. Oh, Paul Harris, right, was here. I can't mess up on that. And I have to head over to this here. Let's see. I want to thank everybody for being here today. And we'll be back soon, of course, with some more videos this week. And more flip-flop feet pictures, unfortunately. Be safe. If you're going east this week, be safe. I mean, holy mackerel, it is going to snow like crazy out there. So be careful out there. If anybody gets a shot, let me know. I'd love to see a video of it or whatever. Be safe, and we're going to head on out to work. So thanks for being here. We'll see you next week, and some more videos this week.